Yo, I just started streaming. I'm stupid. I sold the clip. I sold the clip. I sold. Gotta lock in. Alright. My bad. I streamed a bit too late. I did stream a bit too late. My bad for that. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to stream earlier from now on. But yeah, chat. I tried to, work on a Minecraft channel. I'm like trying to learn like the basics. So, bro, we might have a Minecraft channel in the works soon, so that might be happening. I don't know if I'll tell you guys it, but what's up? Welcome to the stream, chat. You're late? No, bro, you're on time. What's up, Boneless Gang? Collab? Maybe, bro. I don't know. Flying, don't time them out a lot. Don't time them out for long. 2 people watching this? What the hell? What do you mean, bro? I just started it. What's up, Blue? What's up, G-Chap? What's up, Clegget Eli? Yeah, remember you, Desire? Alright, let's see if we could get more gifts, chat. Let's see if we could get more gifts. We're gonna start watching. Oh my god.
When I was homeless, I'd sit by the same store on my dirty mattress and tie a string to the door handle to open it for every
How you doing? I'm doing good, Blue.
shopper whose hands were full. I thought it was a harmless way to distract me from the hunger. But
You were the hiding if Desire guest.
afternoon,
When are you gonna make a Gorilla Tag video? Probably never, bro. I'm gonna eventually just stop posting on it. It's dead.
a mom came out with a baby on her hip and carrying 4 grocery bags. I opened the door for her like always, and she smiled at me like I was actually a person. I gasped in shock,
For the
and she stepped
5 hiding gifts. W Desire.
back in
What's up, Doodlebug?
fear. I don't have any cash. I laughed.
Oh,
I don't want your money. I just want to feel human.
Not gonna lie, why does bro look like a Mr. Beast, what? He looks like a Mr. Beast player, bro, for his challenges. Like, look at his suit, bro.
She just walked
What's up,
away,
Wiley?
and I thought I'd never see her again. But every morning,
Like up the stream and subscribe, chat, if you want to shout out.
she'd bring me a Boston cream Dunkin' donut and drink her coffee with me.
Ooh, that's
But
good.
after a few months of this, she came empty-handed and grabbed my
Oh,
money
nah.
cup. I watch you
That's
open the door
crazy,
for
bro.
everyone that passes. No one ever gives you money for it, but you still do it. Why? I shrugged. I told you, I just want to feel like a human.
That's
She pointed
crazy.
at the hotel across the road. I managed the Grandview Hotel. My doorman just quit. She
wanna
held
start
out a
Mickey
card with
Boy?
both hands. You've been interviewing for this job every morning. You just didn't know it. She took out a piece of paper.
Guys, like up the stream and subscribe. Hold up. Oh, frick. Why is my microphone low? My bad. I put it low a bit. My bad, chat. My bad. It's higher now. Give it a
With the
star.
job
Yeah, I remember you, Monk the First. Yo, thank you, bro.
offer on it. $25 an hour, 5 days a week, plus free housing at the hotel.
When are you doing the IRL stream? Probably tomorrow or Thursday. Because I gotta buy the stuff.
My first shift, I stood at the Grandview's front door in a uniform with my name stitched on it, and she was holding 2 Boston creams. She handed me one and walked inside.
Chat, do you like Boston cream? If you type 1 if you ever tried Boston cream. Type 2 if you never did. I don't think I have, bro. No, I only eat Dunkin', bro. Shout out to Jax.
And I pulled the door open wide for the next stranger whose hands were full. When I was homeless,
story.
I'd sit. The defending skateboarding champ snatched my homemade deck
yeah.
and snapped it clean over his knee. Just
Oh,
go
nah.
home, bro, and save us the embarrassment of watching that thing snap again. I grabbed the broken
It's crazy, bro.
chunk and stood up. I'm still skating today.
Shout
I
out to
lined
Metro.
the brake up on the curb and taped
gtag.
it tight over a fat line of glue because that busted deck was the only board I had. Nate crouched down and flicked the tape. 20 minutes before the comp and you think that holds? One clean
That
run
is-
was all I needed to
I'm gonna
shut
be
it.
honest, that you can't just tape it. That's not gonna fix it. Can I rate your stream, please? I can't. Guys, subscribe if you want a shout out. Let's hit 133K, bro.
Up. Nate went straight to the judge's table. That board's tape and glue. It's a hazard. The head judge
Oh,
turned it
nah.
over. Homemade's legal, but it's one run, and if it comes apart, that's on you. I took my deck back off the table. It'll hold.
Shout
Nate
out to
grinned
Brody
and
the
jerked
Great.
his chin at the packed
Shout out
bowl.
to
When it
Kid's account.
snaps, everybody watches. Mid-jam, he raked his wheel across my seam and peeled the tape half off. I pressed the split shut till it grabbed. Then Nate bombed the long rail for an untouchable score. The only trick big enough was that rail. I dropped in and rode the rail out ugly. The torn seam stream, holding just
They were the jamming gift. First big gift of the stream. W Silly Dogs. Thank you, Silly Dogs, for the jamming gift. I appreciate it. Shout out to Peter. Thank you.
enough to land
Okay.
it. I held the plywood out to Nate. You said it's the legs, not the board. Beat me on that. He
out
grabbed
to
it and
ISO
grinned at the
Lenti.
crowd. Easy. He dropped in, and halfway across the
Shout out to
rail,
Shadow
the board
Rider
split
King.
in two, right where he'd raked it. He slammed onto his back, and the bowl went dead quiet. A judge grabbed my wrist and threw it up. First, Nate came off the ground and
nah.
snapped his own board clean over his knee. I dropped my two halves
out
on
to
his. You wanted to watch
I am not reading that name.
that thing
Hell
snap
nah.
again. The defending skateboarding champ. A star shot over our backyard telescope, and I grabbed my big sister's pinky. Promise you'll fly me to see the stars one day. She wrapped
They
her
were
pinky
sparkles.
around mine. Fake sick tomorrow, so we don't have to go to school.
Oh, hell nah. Chat, be honest. Have you ever faked sick so you didn't have to go to school, bro? Shout out to Mushroom.
And while mom's at work, we're gonna build a rocket together. I nodded. Okay, sis. The next morning, as soon as mom left for work, we tore the house apart. I threw cushions into the yard for crash seats. My sis grabbed a
What?
dryer hose for fuel, and we both carried out armfuls
hell,
of
bro?
tinfoil. She cut me a crooked porthole, and I drew a star on
Shout out to Apex. Okay, what are they doing? They were the hiding gift,
the
KKJ.
side so we'd know
They were the
which
gold
rocket
coin
was ours up
Dakota.
in the sky. She taped crepe paper flames across mom's box fan, and when she hit the switch, the engine roared like real fire. I tapped her. Do you
They were the hiding gift, KJ, and they were the gold coin high blocks.
think the stars will melt my sneakers? She went quiet and double knotted my laces.
gold coin,
instead
the
of
Monster
answering.
Jam.
At 2:45 p.m., 15 minutes before our mom would be home, we carried our contraption into the square my sister had chalked in the driveway. A garden and a flame ripped out of the engine, and
Like
her
up the
hands
stream,
shook the whole
chat.
time she taped it back. Mom's car turned onto our street, and sis grabbed my helmet strap. Get in! She cranked the engine and dove in next to me, and I counted us down with my teeth rattling.
the hiding
At
gift,
0,
yeah,
the flames roared, but
Measle.
the driveway stayed right where it was, and my heart started sinking. Why aren't we flying? My sister handed me a melatonin sleep pill. This is the flying part. Astronauts sleep through takeoff. Close your eyes. Take this. It's
the
magical.
hell?
I listened to her, and within 5 minutes I was fast asleep in
What the hell are they doing, bro?
a rocket contraption. In my dream,
Oh.
the rocket came to life, and me and my sis shot through the sky into space with our arms out, and she took me to land on the stars. Somewhere far away, I heard mom's car door, and a blanket came down soft over the both of us. A star.
Shout out to Justin.
I was walking home when someone grabbed me from behind and threw a bag over my head. I screamed into the fabric, but moments later, it got ripped off, and I was tied to a chair.
They
A
were the 100, the Monster Jam. Yes, sir, Damien. What's up, Damien?
big bald man stood over me. Where's my $40,000? But I had no idea who he was. You've got the wrong guy. I have 12 cents in my
Poopy Dookie, bro. They were the 100.
bank account. Let me go. His face twisted. I remember your face from the casino.
Oh,
You're
nah.
not leaving without giving me my money. But I remembered I had my mom's medication in my bag. I yelled, I need to go home. My mom needs her
might be
medication.
cooked.
She can't even walk without her cane. But he scoffed. I don't
Oh,
care about your
nah.
mom. You've got until tonight to get me my money, or you're dead.
were
I had
sorry.
no way to get that money. So the second he left the room, I yanked at the rope around my wrists to escape. I twisted and pulled until my skin
Chad, you think he's gonna escape? He might, bro. He might actually escape. I don't know.
and one hand started slipping free. But then the door swung open, and he stared right at my wrists, his fists clenched. Trying to escape? I expected him to kill me, but instead,
nah.
he said, your mom needs you home? As a matter of fact, I'll go get her. If I have her captive, you won't try to run again. I screamed, begging him not to.
Yo, thank you for
Why
the
God
$2. God bless, bro. God bless you too. WJ Nice with the 2, bro. Thank you, J Nice. First donation of the stream. WJ Nice, bro. Appreciate the 2, bro. Thank you. W.
As he walked out, but moments later, he
God
came
bless.
back, pulling my mom by the arm.
Thank
She
you for
leaned
the gold
on her
coin, the
cane,
Monster
tiny
Jam.
and shaking. He laughed.
You for
She
the gold
didn't even
coin, yeah,
fight because she's
Measle.
so weak. She walked right out to my car. He pulled her closer. You've got 1 hour, or you're both dead. Tears streamed down my face.
You're
I
lying
couldn't
to
give him
give,
anything,
Camila.
and now my mom was going to die because
Shout
of
out to
me. I'm
Boston.
so sorry, Mom. But then she grabbed her chest and collapsed to the floor. I screamed, Mom! The bald man's face went confused. Please help her. She's sick and weak. He rushed over and bent down to check
Oh,
on
hell
her.
no.
But then her hand tightened around her cane, and she swung it straight into the back
Shout
of
out
his
to
head.
Daniel. Thank you for the gold
He
coin.
dropped, and she
Oh,
slipped
nah.
the loose rope
Wait, is that the mother? What the hell?
off my wrists and pulled me up.
How's my day? It's good. Chat, subscribe if you want a shout out, bro.
I was shaking as she dialed 911.
Why are you not doing IRL
I love
stream?
the content.
I haven't got the money to buy the stuff, bro. They were the $2, J Nice. Thank you, bro. Thank you for loving the content. WJ Nice. I appreciate the kind message. WJ Nice, bro. Thank you. That's a husband. WJ nice. Thank you, bro.
Mom, I thought you were too weak to fight, she smiled. He bragged that I didn't fight him, but I didn't fight
Shout out to
because I needed him
Jishua.
to bring me to you. Then I could take him down
Or
myself.
Joshua.
Then
They were
she
the gold
whispered,
coin, Ivy.
also, your dad is the
Shout out
one
to
who owes him the
Froglet.
$40,000. I gasped because my dad and I have the same
were
face,
the
and
hiding
we're
of
both
Isabel.
brokies. I was walking home when someone grabbed me.
W
In the
story.
third grade, a girl 3 years older than me grabbed my shirt and shoved me face first into a locker. I felt my baby tooth crack,
Oh,
and
nah.
Rebecca loudly popped her gum in
Hey, yo, what the hell, bro? What the hell? They were just sorry, Ivy.
my ear. Meet me behind the hill after school. I'm not letting you get away with shouting
Oh,
at me in the
hell
hallway.
no. They
She
were the 7 stars. Oh my god. Thank you for the 20 stars. W Ivy.
pushed me to the ground
25 stars. Thank you, Ivy.
and walked back to her bullet.
30 stars. W Ivy. Oh my god, Ivy. Maybe kids account. Just try not to put all caps in your message, bro.
Friend group.
But yeah,
I clutched my
you were the
cheeks
star.
shaking because my elementary school was run by 10
You
girls,
were the hiding
all
gift
6th
and
grade bullies. And when you're a
Reynolds.
9-year-old boy, that is an Avengers level threat. I thought back to Rebecca breaking my arm earlier
What
this
the hell, bro?
year and gulped because I knew I was screwed. But when I saw them during break, taking my classmates' glasses
I'm gonna be honest, these stories do not seem real, bro. Oh my god.
and stomping on them, I got an idea. I waited until they walked away and
The
came
hell?
up to him while he cried on the floor. I whispered the plan in his ear, and his
Okay, what's the plan, bro? Far in your basement? Oh, hell no.
eyes immediately lit up. We followed them for
Give
the
it a
entire
6-7
break,
page.
talking to every kid they bullied. When the final bell rang, my heart pounded, and Rebecca locked eyes with
Thank
me.
you for the 35 stars. W. Ann Reynolds. Thank you, Ann Reynolds. W. Ann Reynolds.
Cracked her knuckles. See you behind the hill. I walked out, my legs shaking. But instead of going up to them, I climbed to the top of the hill. Rebecca's eyes widened as she yelled, "Are you ignoring us? We're breaking both your legs for this."
Oh, hell no.
The
What?
10 of them started walking up the hill.
You were
Their
the gold
faces
coin,
twisted
Ian.
and fists clenched.
Chad, this doesn't seem real, bro.
And that's when I made my move. Troops, in positions. Instantly,
What the
all
hell?
50
What the hell, bro?
boys from my grade came out from behind me, standing atop the hill, including
Oh,
the
hell nah. The Avengers, bro. They were in the hiding gift,
kid
Jaden.
with the broken glasses. Our army stared at the 10
hell
girls.
nah.
Their smiles dropped, but their eyes widened in rage. "We're still gonna beat you up." But then I pointed and yelled,
Oh,
"Charge!"
hell nah. It's the
All 50
Avengers,
of us
bro.
began sprinting down hill. The girls'
a Taylor.
faces went pale in fear as they realized 50 mini bowling balls were
Chad, who do you think is gonna win, bro? The 10 girls or the 50 boys? Thank you for the $5, J Nice. W J Nice with the $5 donation. Thank you for the donos, bro. W J Nice. Thank you for saying that. W J Nice, bro. Thank you for the $5. W J Nice, bro. Thank you.
rushing at them. "We're sorry," Rebecca yelled and turned to run, but it was too late. We began crashing
Lock
into them,
in.
knocking them to the
Oh
floor
my
and
god.
stampeding them.
Holy, what the hell? They were the the Monster Jam. This is literally the Avengers. They were the Uncle Hilton. W Hilton, bro. Thank you,
I stepped on
Hilton.
Rebecca's hair and
W Hilton with the Uncle.
plowed into the others, sending them to the dirt. By the time we were at the bottom, all 10 of them were crying in the
Oh
mud.
my god, what the hell, bro?
Their elbows were bent wrong. Their hair was ripped and covered in grass.
hell
and not
nah.
a single one was moving. I planted
They were
my
the jamming
foot on
gift.
Rebecca's back and shouted,
And to stay
"Victory!"
hydrated.
In the third
Bro, they won. W. Hold up. Whoa. We got a bunch of gifts. Hold up. My god, damn. Yo, thank you for the Uncle Nicole. Thank you for the stay hydrated, Hilton. And thank you for the jamming gift, Nicole. W. Nicole and Hilton. They were 6-7 Eddie. W. Nicole and Hilton in the chat. Thank you both.
third
W's.
grade, a girl, the kid next in the third grade.
Did I watch
The kid
this?
next to me squeezed his juice pouch.
What
I
the
was
hell?
walking home. The kid
Oh,
next
we skipped this short. My bad.
The kid next to me squeezed his juice pouch out across my lap and
What the
started
hell?
laughing.
That is not juice, bro.
I'm
That's
gonna
like
tell everyone
jelly.
you peed yourself. He slipped out of his
They were
seat
the
and
star.
drifted toward the door, the pouch still crushed
They
in
were the
his
happy
fist,
poop.
and my stomach dropped. All morning, the whole school had been losing it because my favorite footballer was minutes from walking into our room. The striker whose poster hung over my bed. If he saw me like
You were the
this,
gold
I'd
coin and hiding gift, Bernadette and Ann.
be the P kid forever, in front of the one person I'd ever wanted to impress. I shot out of my chair after him, but he was already halfway down
Shout
the
out
hall,
to the rookie
leaning
for
into
life.
every kid he passed and jabbing a finger back at me. The whisper moved faster than my legs ever could, kid to kid to kid, and catching him wouldn't kill it now. So
Oh, nah, he's just telling everybody. Thank you for the laughing disco, Miss Girly. W Miss Girly with the laughing disco. Thank you, Miss Girly. You were the chili Luke crew. W, Miss
I
Girly.
ducked into the
Thank
boys'
you.
bathroom, wet a fistful of paper
W.
towels, and scrubbed at the stain. But the dark
That is not fixing it. That's just.
spot only spread paler
the hiding
and
gift,
wider,
Daniel.
soaking deeper the harder I pushed until half my thigh was soaked.
Feel
A
free
kid
to send
shoved in
gifts
use
too,
the
chat.
sink, and I twisted toward the wall, but he caught the
Like
soaked
laughing
leg anyway
discos.
and was snickering into the hall before the door
I don't
swung
know,
shut.
Lando,
The
I
speaker in
forgot.
the ceiling crackled on,
100.
and the principal's voice rolled down the hall. Everyone, please give our special guest a warm welcome. My hands started shaking against my wet leg. That's
Oh,
when
nah.
I spotted the lost and found Bin by the sink with a pair of gray gym pants sitting right on top.
Oh yeah, you could just change, bro.
I
It's
yanked
easy.
them out and shoved my
Shout out
leg
to
in,
Tanya.
hopping on one foot as cheering erupted
We're
through
the hiding
the
gift,
wall. I
Isabel.
got them buttoned and shoved through the door bone dry. The footballer was up front mid-wave. Every kid twisted around toward me, and the one who set me up saw his shot. His arm shot out.
Bro, sold
Finger
the clip.
aimed right at me, and he screamed, "Look, he peed himself." But there was nothing there, and every head in the room swung off me
Yeah.
and onto him. The
Oh
football
hell nah, bro's going crazy. Thank you for the live. Let's go, Jagan, and thank you for the Uncle Arias. W Rias and Jagan, thank you both. W Jagan and Rias, bro. Thank you for the stars, bro. W Jagan and Rias. I appreciate the gifts, you guys. W. Thank you for the Uncle, especially Rias.
dollars with them. Right then, the pouch in that same fist gave out. And
Alright,
the last
kids
of it
account.
burst down the
I'll
front
try
of
to
his own
join.
pants. Now he was the P kid for real, and my favorite footballer was laughing harder than
nah.
anyone. The kid next to me squeezed his. In the third
Yeah,
grade,
we watched that.
my boss tried to fire my. I woke up at 4 a.m. to screaming from my son's room.
Shout out to
But when I walked
Sasha.
inside, I instantly started coughing. My
Oh,
15-year-old Jacob was smoking cigarettes.
What the hell? Yo, what? Thank you for the blowfish gift. W Rias with the blowfish gift. Thank you, Rias. Appreciate it. Thank you for the blowfish. W.
And loudly gaming with his
Thank you,
buddies.
Rice.
I didn't even know he smoked, so I crossed the room with my
Look at
breath
the
held and
5
unplugged
100s,
his PlayStation.
Elena.
You're going to bed. We'll talk about the smoking tomorrow. But he turned to me with these manic eyes and screamed, "Give me back my PlayStation."
Oh,
he
nah.
put his cigarette out on my arm,
Bro's going
and I
crazy.
immediately backed up as it burned. Okay, we're seriously having a talk.
We're
I walked
W,
out of his
Ann.
room and locked him in for the night while he screamed, "You'll regret this." Next morning,
Bro, what?
I was waiting downstairs to talk, but Jacob stormed
Yo, yo, yo. Close it. Yo, yo.
down with a stack of papers
Where the
and
gold
dropped them
coins
on
say?
the table. "I'm suing you. I want emancipation
Guys,
and
like up the stream and
$5,000
subscribe.
in
How many likes are we at,
legal
chat?
damages." My stomach twisted as I picked up the papers, and when I looked up, he was lighting a cigarette. That's
Oh,
right.
nah. Bro cannot do that. They were live. Let's go. Camila and Megalodon. W Megalodon and Camila. Thank you both. W Camila and Megalodon in the chat with the laughing discos. Thank you. Shout out to you guys.
I don't want you to be my dad
W.
anymore. He
No problem. Yeah, thank you.
blew the smoke at my face and walked out. That evening, Jacob yelled at me from his room, "Dad,
Yo!
I need $200
Close
to
the
hire a
door!"
lawyer for the court."
My bad.
I laughed
They were the
because
happy
I still
pill.
didn't think he was
Boom,
serious. But that
chakalaka.
night, I woke up to something rustling in my room. My eyes shot open, and I saw Jacob going through my wallet. My heart shattered seeing
They
my
were the
own
gold
son
coin, Leo.
stealing from me. But I just pretended to be asleep, then slid my phone
Oh,
over
nah.
and pressed record.
Bro, secret.
He tiptoed
Bro,
out with all
secretly
$300 from my wallet, but I had the evidence.
You're
2
the happy
weeks later,
poop.
I stood
Mere
in
mod.
court as Jacob Fake cried on the stand that I'm
Get out.
abusive and he's scared of me. I don't want him to be my dad, and I want $5,000 for emotional damages. He pointed at me like
Oh, hell nah. They are not giving that shit. I mean, that's up to him, bro. Give it the press app Megalodon. The IRL live stream will be tomorrow or Thursday.
was an animal. My hands shook, and
Probably
I pulled out the
Thursday.
video
Shout
of
to
him
Langer.
stealing my money, but he began screaming before the judge could even look at it. See? He records me without my consent. That's the abuse I'm talking about. My
Bro,
stomach
what?
sank as the judge looked at Jacob. "You believe you can care for yourself?" Jacob
They were
smirked.
100
"Better
rated.
than that faker ever could." I felt my whole
Shout to
body
Buff
go cold
Mona Lisa.
because those words hurt so much. But that's when the judge smiled at me. In that case, emancipation granted. He banged his gavel, and Jacob immediately jumped out of his seat, cheering and throwing
hell
both
nah.
middle fingers in
Give
my
it
face.
the thumbs
But then
up,
the judge
Alicia.
kept talking. "This means, Jacob, that from today, you pay your own rent, food, and legally follow
Oh, hell nah. Bro cannot do that.
every rule your father gives you since he's now your landlord. Your first
Oh, hell
$1,000
nah.
rent payment is due in a month." My son's arms dropped mid-celebration. "Wait, I don't
Oh,
have any
hell
money."
nah.
But the judge shrugged. "Fail to pay, and you'll be arrested. This is what you wanted." Jacob's face went pale. "No, I don't want to go to jail. Can I reverse
Oh,
the
hell nah. Bro's cooked, chat.
decision?" The judge simply shook his head. I walked up to Jacob and
They
put
were
my
the hiding
hand on his
gifts,
shoulder.
Yeasty.
"If I see you light
Don't
just
start
one
marrying.
cigarette, I'm kicking you out. I expect rent on the first." I
Oh,
walked
hell
out while
nah.
he sobbed in the courtroom and
Chat, do you feel bad for your son? Not gonna lie, I don't. He deserved it. But chat, if you subscribe, I'll give you with a shout out. And feel free to send gifts like laughing discos if you want to support Want to send
My
some
boss tried to
support.
fire my coworker with anger issues, and the company is still recovering from the damage. He slammed a folder onto Zach's desk, and the first line read, "Your current position has been terminated, effective immediately."
Oh,
Zach
nah.
read he'd given
Is bro getting fired?
10
No.
years, missed his daughter's birthdays, and worked every weekend. Our boss smiled. "So, what do you think?" But Zach just slammed the folder on the desk so hard his coffee spilled across the boss's jacket. I think
nah.
screw you. He kicked his chair
You were the
over.
gold
The
coin
whole office
Camila
stopped
and
typing to
Jace,
look. I missed my
OJ.
daughter's birthdays for you. My
Shout out
wife
to
almost
Oliver.
left me. The boss put his hands up. "Just hear me out." But Zach talked over him. "No, you hear me." Not once did anyone in
Do I
this
play
building
Roblox
recognize what
sometimes?
I beep. Zach was cut off by the photocopier. He looked over at it, and just Zach completely lost it. He shoved the photo
Oh, holy crash out, bro. Holy crash out in the chat.
copier off the table, smashing on the floor. Paper went everywhere. Our boss tried again. "Are you
my
sure
God.
you read the whole?" Zach got right in the boss's face. "Don't talk to me like I'm stupid.
Oh,
You're a
nah.
snake." He grabbed his nameplate off the desk and threw it in the boss's
Oh,
face.
nah. Yo, the boss has to fire
"I gave
him.
you everything, and you gave
fire
me
him,
nothing." Then he stuck his middle finger in his face and waved it. He
Nah.
turned to the rest of us. "If any of you have a brain and don't want to be treated like this, you'll follow
You were
me
the
out."
6'7"
He started
Gilbert.
packing his things, but the office was dead silent. Our boss
were the
stood
hiding
there,
gift.
completely calm,
You were the
pointing to
6'7"
the folder
Gilbert.
on the floor. Zach flipped the page. Zach looked down, red in the face. He picked it up and flipped. "And because your old position is terminated, we are promoting you to Senior Vice President of Operations. You will be relocating to a different branch to allow more time for your daughter." The number beside it was triple what Zach was making. He looked up at the
Oh my
boss,
God.
surrounded by spilled
You were
coffee,
the
a
hiding
smashed
gift,
keyboard, a broken photocopier, and the
Dang.
bruise on his face. "Does the offer still stand?" My boss tried to.
Hell no.
I just entered the bathroom of my girlfri's house when I sneezed so
Shout out to
hard
I Like
that the
Fries
zipper on
more.
my dress pants tore clean off. I
Hey,
went
yo.
pale and tried to put it back, but they fell right down to my toes.
Yep. You were the hiding
I
gift,
had
Lillian.
worn these pants to impress my girlfriend's grandfather, who was waiting for me downstairs. She'd warned
Oh,
me
hell
he
no.
had never approved
That's
of
a
a single
feral patch.
boyfriend she brought home, but their two cats had been circling
What the hell is tung 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 sahur? Bro, what the hell, bro? Tung 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 sahur?
my ankles all night, and I was allergic
The hell,
to
bro?
both, which is why I'd escaped to the bathroom. I heard my girlfriend's mother calling, "Dinner's on the table." I had to fix this quickly before my girlfriend's
Yeah, bro, they cannot see the tung 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 sahur, bro.
family saw me. I yanked my shirt loose and tucked it down deep, but it rode right back up and left me hanging out. So I dug a paperclip from my pocket
nah.
and bent it across the fly to pin it shut.
He
It
might
held
be
one
cooked.
breath before it snapped and pinged into the sink. A knock rattled the door, and my girlfriend's voice came through. "Babe, everyone's waiting on you." I couldn't get the words
Oh,
out,
hell
so
no.
I fell in behind her and speed walked to my chair. Dropping in, under the tablecloth, I shoved my hand in my pocket and pinched the waistband shut. Then one of the cats curled around my ankle under the table,
Oh,
and my
it's
nose started
wraps.
to burn.
It's
Grandpa
wraps.
watched me over his wine like he was deciding. One thumb hooked behind a belt buckle the size of
nah.
a saucer, but Grandma leaned in and slid a dish of potatoes across to me. "Be a dear," and passed
Holy, what the hell?
these down. It took both hands, so I let go, passed it, and slapped my hand back under. My waistband slipped an inch, but I caught it, my heart slamming. My shirt was soaked through when she pushed back her chair and beamed at me. "Come help me carry the roast, sweetheart."
He's cooked. It's over. It's over.
A big, strong boy like you needs
It's
to work
actually
out.
over.
I walked to the kitchen and got both hands under a roasting pan the size of a car tire. 3 steps back into the dining room, that same cat crossed right in front of me, and I sneezed so hard the waistband ripped out of my grip. My pants dropped straight to my ankles.
Oh, hell
There I
no.
stood in my tongue
Tung tung tung
sahur
sahur.
boxers, holding the roast. Nobody made a
Bro, why is tung 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 sahur? What the hell, bro?
sound. Grandpa set his wine down, pushed back his chair, and stood up. He reached down and unbuckled that
It's oof time, bro.
saucer-sized belt. I closed my eyes and
It's over.
waited to get whooped, but then he spoke. "Here, take mine." I tore my pants
Oh, W Mans. W Grandpa in the chat. Shout out to Godzilla. W Grandpa, bro. Shout out to PC List Creator.
on my first visit to my girlfriend's too. "Welcome to the family, son." I set the roast down and buckled his belt around my ruined pants, while the whole table came apart laughing. And for once, I laughed along with them. I just
What the hell was that laugh, bro? Yo, W. Nah, chat. Feel free to send gifts like Laughing Discos. It helps out if you want. But guys, also make that subscriber count go up. If you subscribe, I'll give you a shout out. All right.
entered the bath. I
The hell
just
am I doing?
entered the bathroom of my girlfriend's house when I
Dang, that was
sneezed.
the last short. Not gonna lie, they barely have shorts, chat. We're the star. Let's see, bro. Let's see. I gotta think, bro. Think we're the star. Let's watch this.
I made a kid cry at my son's career day,
Shout out to
and I'd do
Gorilla.
it again. On the way there,
Shout out to
Liam begged,
Mike.
"Please don't come, Dad. I don't want you to be sad. I don't want you to be the only one without a parent." I walked into that
out to
classroom, and every
Mackenzie.
other
Shout out to
parent was
Liam.
dressed in a suit. Accountants,
Shout out to Iconic.
therapists. One guy was even a heart surgeon. I had my best outfit on because I wanted Liam to know his dad mattered just as much as anyone else's. When it was my turn to present, one kid, I'll call him Benjamin, took one
Who the hell is Benjamin?
look
What?
at me and started laughing. He pointed at my wrist. "Your watch is fake. You look like a bum." I
Oh,
held
hell
it up.
nah. They were
My
sorry.
dad got me this from Walmart when I was a kid, and I've worn it every day since. Benjamin yelled out that I looked like the kind of guy who wears
Alright, bro's just trying to make him crash out. They were the Laughing Disco Taco Kid. Finally. Got another Laughing Disco. W Taco Kid. And thank you for the Laughing Disco Mia. W Mia and Taco Kid. Thank you both. I appreciate the Laughing Discos. Thank you. W Mia and Taco Kid. Thank you so much.
Walmart watches, and the other kids started laughing. I looked across the room and saw my son put his head down between his hands. I cleared my throat and started talking
were the
about
star.
my job as a
They
waste
were the hiding
collector in
game,
New York City,
Zilzak.
and how jobs like mine are the backbone of
Slipzak.
society because we do
They were
the
the
work
W,
nobody else
Elena.
wants to. Benjamin shouted, "Waste collector? That must have been where you found Liam." The whole
Shout out to
class
Kylie.
burst out laughing, and I watched my son's eyes fill with tears. He
That's
could say
crazy.
whatever he wanted about me, but he just came after my son. I had noticed Benjamin's dad
Bruh.
wasn't anywhere in that room, and Liam had warned me in that car that Benjamin didn't have a dad.
L Bully, bro. They were the Laughing Disco Tracy. W Tracy with the Laughing Disco. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy. Thank you so much for the Laughing Disco, Tracy.
So I should keep my mouth shut about it, but I didn't care. I looked Benjamin dead in the eyes and said, "At least Liam has a loving father. Yours left
You were
you."
the hiding
And
game
honestly,
taco.
I don't blame him. You're the first ever child I'd actually
Thank you
blame
guys
for
for
a divorce.
133K,
You
by the
insufferable
way.
little shit. I made a kid cry at my son. I found a loaded gun in my dad's closet, but when I asked him why he had one, he said, "It's for protection."
They were the hiding
I thought
of
that was weird
Boquitas.
because we live in the safest town in the whole state. So when he left the house later, I secretly removed the bullets from his gun. My dad and his brother were going drinking, and they had a reputation for being dumb together, so I did it just to be safe. But then my dad
You were the
came
gold
home
coin,
hours
Leslie.
later and went to bed, and in the middle of the night, I heard our doorknob rattling. My stomach sank, and I ran to my dad and
Oh,
woke
nah.
him up. He immediately got up and grabbed his gun. He ran downstairs
nah.
before I could tell him there were no bullets. I saw the intruder with his back turned and hood up, going through our
Oh,
pockets.
nah, bro.
My dad pointed his gun and fired,
That-
but the shot went blank.
Okay, that is not a gun, bro. That's a minion gun. Shout out to Angelo.
He looked at his gun confused and
The
went
hell
to
is that,
fire
bro?
again, but the intruder immediately turned and ran
He's
at my
cooked.
dad. He tackled
He's
him hard
cooked.
into the wall, and blood started pouring from my dad's head. I was so
Oh,
scared,
nah.
I immediately ran
You
to
were
the
hiding
closet
it,
and
Camille.
called the police while crying. I felt like the worst son in the world. They arrived minutes later, but the intruder was already gone. He hadn't taken anything, and my dad had a fractured skull. We took him to the hospital,
Bruh.
and thankfully he survived. But then while in the bed, he asked me if I did anything to the gun. I started crying and confessed immediately, saying, "I'm so sorry." But instead of being mad, he hugged me immediately and started crying too. He told me the man who broke in
Give it a
was
star.
actually his brother. He was just drunk and looking for his car keys because dad had took them away. If
Oh,
you
hell
didn't take
nah.
out those bullets, I would have shot my own brother. I was in disbelief and asked if his brother was okay, but he shook his head. No, he's in jail for driving drunk. I found a loaded
They
gun
were
in
the
my
hiding game,
dad's
Joe
closet.
Keen.
I humiliated a professional expert
were
in
star.
their field at 7 years old. I was obsessed with cars at the time and used to spend all day fixing
Dang. They were the Laughing Disco. Lay. W Lay with the Laughing Disco. Guys, feel free to send Laughing Discos or any type of gifts too, alright? If you want me to say your name and say W in the chat, bro. W Lay though. Thank you, Lay.
larger toy models with my own mini mechanic set. So when my mom said she was going for an oil change, I went with her because I really wanted to watch. But then the mechanic said
You're
it would
floating
cost
hard, Joe.
$3,000. My mom
Shout out
asked
to
why,
Jack's
and he told
Place.
her on top of the oil change, her engine fluid
Thank
was
you.
dirty, her brake pads were worn down, and her air filter was clogged. My mom's face dropped because that was everything she had. But she didn't know much about cars and just opened her wallet. That's when
Shout
I
out to
stepped
Mr.
forward
Norway.
and asked the
Bro has a new hobby every day. Exactly. Like this guy, bro.
mechanic to open the hood so I could check the engine. He laughed, but when he saw I was serious, he nervously popped it open. I
That's a
pulled out
TC
the engine
Martel.
fluid stick myself and saw it was clean and golden, not dirty and brown like he
You were the
said.
W,
His
Joe
smile
Quinn.
dropped, and he folded
What's the biggest gift or donation I've ever received? So for gift, it's a Go trophy, and donation it's $300. It's crazy, bro. They were the jamming gift, Katrina. W Katrina with the jamming gift. Thank you, Katrina. W Katrina.
His arms, but I was already crouching by the front wheel and pointing at the brake pads. These are still thick. They're not worn down. Why did you say they were? I could see him turning red, and then I popped open the air filter box he'd said was clogged. I pulled out the filter, shook out the dust, and slid the filter back in. I turned to the—
Dang, bro's a pro at cars. They were the W Joe Quinn. They were the jamming gift. Raina. W Raina in the chat with the jamming gift. Thank you, Raina. W Raina. Rena. Thank you, Rena. W Rena.
Mechanic and said, that wasn't clogged. Even if it was, it took me 60 seconds. You should know how to do this. By now, the other mechanics in the shop were watching, and the owner had walked out from the back office. My mom looked at me with pride, and I turned to the mechanic and asked him why he lied to my mom and tried to charge her $3,000 when she just came in for an oil change. He went pale. He either had to admit he knew less about cars than a 7-year-old, or admit he tried to scam a struggling single mother. He muttered,
nah, bro's trying to scam.
Looked wrong and walked away, but the owner stopped him and requested his uniform. My mom got in the car, but then the owner tapped me on the shoulder and asked if I wanted to do the oil change myself.
That's a John Birch.
But you clearly know enough. That afternoon, I changed my mom's—
Dang, bro just works there now?
And she didn't pay a cent. I was driving through town when I saw my 14-year-old son sitting on a street corner with a cardboard sign asking strangers for money. I was confused because I gave him—
What the hell? If you sub to me, I sub to you. Yo. Oh.
$50 every Friday and made his bed every morning. So why would my own son be acting homeless? A man dropped $10 into his cup, and he instantly stood up and walked into a building smiling. He came out a minute later in different clothes, and the cash he just got stuck from his pocket. I realized my son was acting homeless to scam money out of strangers, and my hands gripped the wheel.
Guys, if you subscribe, I'll give you a shout out.
As I decided to follow him and find out why. He got the bus to my ex-wife's house where he was staying for the week and walked to her door. But something about the way his legs trembled caught my eye. I heard him from where I hid behind the bushes, begging her to let him stay here because it was freezing tonight.
Shout out to Kimberly.
I'll leave tomorrow. His hands were together, and I noticed they were blue from the cold, but she crossed her arms. You're not welcome in my house. You can stay on the streets. My blood ran cold, and I heard her add, and if you show up to your dad's house early, I'll take him back to court and tell the judge he hit me. Then you'll never see him again. She slammed the door in his face as a tear rolled down his cheek. He walked back to the bus stop with his hands in his hoodie pockets to warm him up.
Emily.
My heart shattered as I realized my son wasn't faking being homeless. He was actually homeless 5 of the 7 days a week. I caught up to him.
He said I've said 6 of the 7 days. 6, 7. Give her the happy poop bread dolphin.
And when he turned around, I hugged him before he could say a word. You're staying at mine, son, all 7 days. I don't care what your mom says. He began sobbing, and I held him with all the love in the world. I was driving through town.
W's, bro. Shout out to Shannon, W Kid. Shout out to the real Wally. Guys, feel free to send gifts if you want me to say your name and say W's and give you a shout out.
After my sister's funeral, I learned a language only a tiny portion of the human population knows.
You were the hiding gift. I divine.
Teen Titans Go on Repeat, where all the characters spoke Pig Latin, which I forgot I had learned until high school. My teacher, Mr. Ham, was a huge language geek and got a kick out of acting like he was smarter than everyone else. One day, I missed an assignment and apologized to Mr. Ham. He said, "Aid, ik pay up."
You were the hiding gift, Tricks. What the hell? What is bro speaking? They were the GG Shannon.
Which means pick up a book sometime, stupid. I completely understood him but said nothing. Turns out he talked crap about every single student in Pig Latin. To the girl students he'd say, "Our yai is beyond
shout out to Mike.
Arayai oingai otai astaway," which translates to, "Your lesbian looks are going to waste."
Oh nah, what? Shout out to that one, kid.
I'd see him look at kids with disabilities and hear him say,
"You leaked your meta name? It doesn't matter."
America's yai exne itest bray homeless hay, meaning America's next brightest homeless. But I knew Mr. Ham's biggest secret. For my next essay, I wrote it in Pig Latin, explaining how I found his degree was actually a 3-month certificate program in South America, just to learn English. The next day, he pulled me aside. He told me, "Please don't ruin this all for me." I told him I didn't understand, and to repeat it in Pig Latin. That's what this is about? I'll stop speaking it. Please, keep quiet. It was too late. Before I submitted my essay, I already sent a full 15-page document exposing Mr. Ham to the school district. How up it stay of me. After my sister's my mom asked me to return a jacket because it was too small, so I went and got $200 for it. But on my way home, I noticed a sign on the local corner store. Scratch tickets, $1 million prize. I thought about it.
$1 million? What do you mean you have to think about it? You join it immediately. What the hell, bro? What? Well, I don't get it, chat. What? I don't get it. What, bro? But guys, if you subscribe, I'll give you a shout out. Alright, chat. Name of the hiding gift, Melly Mills.
and decided if I just bought enough tickets,
They were the
I was
two hiding
guaranteed
gifts,
to
W.
win. I
Jess
spent
and
the entire
Fizz.
200 and sat outside scratching tickets for 3 hours.
We're the
By
hiding
the end,
gift,
I won
Sandy.
$10 and walked home with no jacket and no money. I
Shout
was
out to
still thinking
KK
what to
Hart.
tell Mom when she smiled and reached her hand
That's a
out
Mac
saying,
guy.
"Give me the money, sweetheart." I panicked and quickly told her my classmates had beat me up and took the money. It was the only thing I could think of. Her face was horrified, and she immediately said, "I'm calling their parents," and started emailing the school. Within minutes, my phone buzzed non-stop.
nah.
My classmates were asking me why I was lying.
Oh, hell nah. They were the laughing disco cooking with Brady. W cooking with Brady with the laughing disco. W cooking with Brady, bro. Thank you, cooking with Brady. W.
Telling me to take it back because the school was threatening
W.
police. I knew I needed to
Thank
do
you, bro.
something, so I Googled how to make money fast as a 10-year-old and saw the perfect thing. I found a garage sale and used my $10 to buy a broken controller. I fixed it using YouTube and sold it for $30. I went back to the garage and flipped a laptop for $80, and when I went back a third time, I found a retro PS2 game for $20. I immediately ran to the
You were
game
the gold
store
coin
and walked
on
out
leash.
with $210. But when I walked home, my
On
mom
leash.
was already in the driveway talking to police. I ran over and heard the officers say that the kids who beat me up would be getting expelled and getting juvenile criminal records. They turned to me and asked for my statement to finalize the charges. I knew if I admitted I
Oh, hell
lied,
no.
I'd be in big trouble, but I didn't want my classmates going to jail because of me. So I did the only thing I could think of and took out the money. I still have it. I quickly made up a story about how my classmates roughed me
What's a high tier GTag creator to a low tier Yeep? Bro, Yeep is ass. Shout out, is actually bad. Shout out to Bell fam.
up as a joke, so I thought I'd lost it.
Bad.
But the money was just in my other pocket the whole time. I waved the money and begged them to believe me. They did, and never pressed charges. I gave my mom the 200, then gave my classmates $5 as an
Damn.
apology for lying about them. My mom asked. My neighbor chainsawed my treehouse while we were out, so I listed his house on Zillow for $1. We came home Sunday to a pile.
What? $1? Nah, child, imagine seeing a house for $1 that you could buy, like, for $1. That would be a steal. Like, bro, what?
Of wood where my
If this live stream gets 500 likes, you'll give me $500. Alright. Your name is Butter, bro. I'm remembering that. Alright, when we hit 500 likes. How many likes are you at, chat?
treehouse used to be, and the fence cut open where Doyle had come through. Mr. Doyle was on his porch holding the chainsaw and grinning.
Thank
My
you, Nahum.
dad walked up to the porch. "You destroyed my son's
That's a Benny.
treehouse." Doyle shrugged. "Tell your kid to stay off my fence next time." He went inside. Through the front window, I
Alright, guys, like up the stream so we hit 500 likes. And subscribe if you want a shout out.
watched his wife look up from the couch and smile at him. Knew you'd handle it. That night, I
Shout
sat
to
at my
Jack.
laptop, pulled photos
Mindful
off
Jack.
Doyle's old Facebook, and listed his house on Zillow for $1 with an
Oh,
open house.
nah. He's cooked. They were the flower star moon.
Saturday at 9. By midnight, the listing had 11,000
Oh
views.
my God.
Friday night, a realtor pulled into Doyle's driveway and knocked. And when Doyle answered in
They were
his
the Star
bathrobe,
Boxy
she
Boy. They
smiled
were the
at
hiding
him.
of
"Hi,
Bug
I have
Boy."
a buyer who saw your listing. Are you the owner?" Doyle told her there was no listing and to get off his property, but she just held up her phone showing
nah.
the Zillow page. His own house, listed for $1 with an open house the next morning. Doyle ripped the phone out of her hand.
Pay up. Wait, we hit 500 likes. Yo, Butter, pay up, bro. No, I'm joking. You don't have
Scrolled
to,
through
but
it and slammed
said,
the door
bro.
so hard a window cracked.
stop.
By Saturday sunrise, cars were lining the street, and by 9 there were over 100 people on his lawn. Families with kids, a guy carrying cash in a grocery bag, a college kid yelling, "I'm pre-approved," at nobody in particular. Doyle was on his porch screaming, "My house
What? What the hell, bro?
is not for sale," while strangers walked through his garden taking
You were the
photos.
star,
He grabbed the
Boxy Boy.
chainsaw and
You were the
yanked
W
cord,
Amanda.
but nothing happened. He yanked again, and the engine stayed
Shout out
dead
to Bell
while the
Fam
crowd
crew.
kept
My
walking
bad, bro,
past
my
him
bad.
like he wasn't there. His wife stepped outside in her robe and asked
How about double it or nothing? What do you mean? Nah, you're capping. You're just lying, bro. What? You're capping, Butter.
what was happening, so someone in the crowd handed her a phone with the
100,
listing on
Brandon.
it. She read it twice, then she looked at Doyle. "You put our house up for $1? Doyle opened his mouth and nothing came out. She held the phone up. "These are your photos and descriptions. I can't believe you would do this." Then she walked back inside and slammed the door behind her. Behind Doyle, a bidding war erupted on the lawn, and a man in a
Like up the stream and subscribe, chat. If you want a shout out, thank you for the 100, Sunflower.
suit pushed through the crowd, waving a
That's a
single
just
dollar
you
bill
know.
in the air, shouting, "I have the asking price," while 6 people tackled
my
him.
God.
From my bedroom window, I watched
Holy.
Doyle alone on his porch
We
with
were
no
hiding it,
chainsaw and
Rosemary.
no wife. The dollar bill landed at his feet. My neighbor
Alright.
The girl who triggered my PTSD for 4 years is now homeless. I'm
Oh,
from a
nah.
war-torn country. At 10 years old, I'd wake up to explosions
We're gonna
and
start,
gunfire.
Brandon.
I lost
Yo, Butter, you're capping, bro.
friends, neighbors, even my middle school crush.
Shout
One
out to
night,
Orange
people were
guy.
screaming, "Save me," through the chaos, and my dad picked me up and told me to close my eyes. I asked about my mom
Oh, nah.
and sister, and he whispered that they were still
Guys, feel free to send gifts like Laughing Discos. Is it a deal? I don't know what you mean, Butter. You said if we hit 500 likes, you'll donate $500, bro.
sleeping. I didn't understand then that they didn't survive. We fled to America hoping for peace, but the trauma followed. My school community tried their best. Loud sounds triggered
Thank
me,
you for the hiding gift,
especially
Joe said.
fireworks. One moment I'd hear a pop, and the next I'd be curled into a ball on the
Thank you for
floor.
the hiding gift,
Then Angela
Olivia
transferred
Jones.
in. She decided I was faking it and said I was too young to have PTSD, so she started testing me.
Give her the
She'd
happy
clap
poop
right behind me in the
sunflowers.
hallway, and once I dropped to the floor trembling while people laughed. In assemblies,
Oh, nah.
she'd crack her knuckles behind me just to
Oh,
watch me
hell
crawl
nah.
under the bleachers. In chemistry, she'd accidentally drop heavy books next to my desk,
Bro,
leaving my
what?
hands too shaky to write. One time, she followed me home, and when I was halfway down the street, she screamed the same pitch as the cries from that night. I
Oh,
sprinted
hell
home,
nah.
fumbling
You were
with my
hiding
keys,
it,
and locked
sunflowers.
myself in the bathroom trying to breathe. Her worst trick was an app that played gunfire. She'd hide her phone in
Okay, that's just messed up, bro.
her backpack and timed the shots to go off when I walked by. I'd hit the floor in terror while she looked
That's
concerned like
crazy.
everyone else. Teachers never caught her.
Guys, like up the stream and subscribe if you want shout out. Say I subbed in the chat, I got you.
She was too smart about it.
And
I
feel
thought
free to send gifts like Laughing Discos if you want me to say your name and say W.
it was all behind
Give me
me
a
after
shout out.
graduation. 4 years passed. I had
100,
therapy,
Bradley.
better coping skills,
Hey, Bradley.
fewer flashbacks. Then I saw her at a cafe.
Shout out
She
to
was
Brian.
working behind the counter and still had that smirk.
Shout
I
out to
tried to be
Nathan.
polite and ordered a matcha latte.
Shout out to
She
Sky
asked if
Guy.
I wanted anything else but didn't ask my name. That
They
was
were
the
the hiding
first red
gift,
flag.
Natasha.
As I waited, I heard it. Save me! Save me! I have an order for Save Me. A matcha latte for Save Me. My vision blurred.
What?
Suddenly, I was 10 again, surrounded
Shout out
by
to
smoke
Mr.
and
Blob.
screams. I collapsed right there in the cafe. Someone called 911, and paramedics kept me under observation for 3 hours until my heart rate stabilized. 3 hours of sterile walls and memories I thought I'd buried. But when they let me go, I didn't feel afraid. I felt rage. The next morning, I returned to the cafe. The manager,
Oh, nah, bro's gonna get revenge. Shout out to Leslie.
Carol, had already pulled up the security footage. "I'm so sorry," she began, but I cut her off. "Just watch." Together we saw Angela take my order,
Oh, hell
grin
no.
at the camera, write something on my cup, and wait until the cafe was full before yelling. We watched my body crumple like paper. "She's fired," Carol said. "I want to be there," I replied.
You were the
Angela
gold coin sunflower. Thank you for the 6-7
walked in for
snowbow.
her shift.
Everybody, if you want, feel free to send gifts.
Like
It helps
nothing
out,
happened.
bro.
When she saw me in the office with Carol, her smirk disappeared. "What's this about?" Carol didn't blink. "You're terminated. Yesterday's behavior was targeted harassment. Security will escort you out." Angela tried suing me afterward
hell
and said
no.
I ruined her career. The footage went viral, and she hasn't been able to get hired anywhere since.
That is AI. What the hell is rejarding?
Last I heard, she's living on the street. She can
Put a
scream,
flower,
"Save me," all
sunflower.
she wants.
You were
I'll
Star
watch her sink
Leslie.
before I ever help her. The girl. My dog has always been sensitive to smells, and one day when my wife came home, he growled his teeth and immediately started aggressively barking in her face. I was confused because he's never even gone near her, but suddenly he was sniffing her legs and biting them hard enough.
Oh, hell nah. They were the flower sunflowers. They were the Ongler, crazy gorilla tag guy. And thank you for the climbing seals, Sanju. W Sanju and crazy gorilla tag guy. Thank you both. W's. They were the hiding of Vanessa. W's. Ah, I bit my tongue. Ah, bro. W Vanessa though. Wait, what? What am I saying? W Sanju and crazy gorilla tag guy. Thank you both.
To bleed. She went red and laughed. "Baxter is so silly." But when
Give
I
it a
pulled him
floating heart.
away, I couldn't shake the feeling something was wrong. When she wasn't looking, I ran my hands over his ribs and legs to check for bruises to see if she'd hit him, but there was nothing
Give her
there.
the gold
Baxter
coin.
laid there calmly licking my hand, but the second my wife walked back in the room, he shot up and started sniffing the air. Then he barked right at her. She bent
They were the hiding of Stephanie. They were the laughing disco. Carter. W Carter with the laughing disco. W Carter. Thank you, Carter. W Carter, bro.
down to try pet him,
Thank
and
you,
that's
dude.
when Baxter jumped into her face and clawed her eye. I gripped
Give
my
her the
head
happy
in
poop,
horror
Delilah.
and immediately
Give her
pulled
the
him
hiding
back,
of
but
Jeff.
my wife was already holding her swollen eye. "Your dog is crazy. We need to put it
Oh,
down
hell
if it's
nah.
gonna keep doing this." She stormed out while Baxter barked after her. The second she left, he ran into our room and dove through
What the hell is the dog doing? What is the dog doing? They were the laughing disco. Adam. W Adam with the laughing disco. W Adam with the laughing disco. Thank you, bro. Number 67 sunflower.
Through my wife's clothes, sniffing them
Thank you.
and tearing them in half with his teeth. I stood there in disbelief because he had never been this way to anyone. I knew there was something wrong with him, so I clipped on
Without
his
a
leash
gift.
and told him, "We're going to the vet, buddy. He's gonna check you out." We started walking towards the clinic, and Baxter wagged his tail the whole way, but then he sniffed the air once, twice. Then he started barking again, the same exact way he
You
did
were
at
a star,
home. He
Jeff.
started pulling me towards the crowd, and I blindly followed, my heart about to jump through my chest. His barking got louder, and that's when I saw it. My wife was holding hands with another man. My heart broke, and I looked down at
You were a
Baxter
star,
barking at
Jeff.
them. I bent down and unclipped him, and he ran straight at her
Oh,
with his
nah.
teeth out. My dog exposed my wife's affair.
It's over.
My dog has always been sensitive to... A woman tried to humiliate a decorated army veteran. He was giving
Oh, hell no. That's crazy, bro.
a speech and taking photos with all the kids
But
at our
guys, if you subscribe, I'll give you a shout out, alright, guys?
camp. He smiled and respectfully shook their hands, but right as he was about to leave, someone yelled, "Hey, douchebag!" A woman stormed through the crowd and shoved her son's
were the
photo
flow
in the
state,
veteran's
Carter.
face. "You're wearing
W.
sunglasses
Carter
in my
with the
son's
flow
picture.
state.
Is it because of the
Thank
star
you,
across
Carter.
his eye? My son disgusts you, does he?" I instantly
W.
cut
Carter.
in before he could reply and showed her the other's photos. He wore the sunglasses with every single kid, ma'am. She looked closer, but then her face went red. "Well, that's even more disrespectful. Why is he wearing sunglasses at all?" She demanded he take another picture with her son without them.
Shout out
I
to
looked
Mr.
over at the
Clutcher.
veteran, and he was smiling slightly to the side of
Shout
her.
out to
"Ma'am,
True.
I'd prefer to keep them on. Please don't make me explain myself." She stepped closer and waved her hand in his face.
Thank you for the laughing disco, Cam Coker. W. Cam Coker with the laughing disco. Thank you, Cam. W. Cam.
"Look at me when I'm
Shout out to
talking to you.
Lillian
Take your
Day.
glasses off." I realized she was out of control, so I guided her away from the veteran, but she broke free and pulled out her phone to record him. Yelling on camera, he's got no respect. She's demanding a refund
You're
for
the
the
hiding
camp,
of
and this is
Diane.
going viral, and his career is over. I instantly called security, and they ran over, gripping her arms. Her phone fell to the
They
floor,
were the
but
clutch
she
at Real
screamed
Kai.
and ripped free. She ran straight
Number
towards the
67
veteran, and before
Alania.
anyone could stop her, yanked the sunglasses off his
Oh,
face.
nah,
My
that's
stomach
crazy,
turned,
bro.
because where the veteran's eyes should have been, it was just skin. He'd lost
Oh,
both of his
nah.
eyes in the war. The woman's face was priceless. I'm sorry. I didn't
It's
know."
over.
She
It's too late. Thank you for the flow state, Carter. W. Carter with the flow state. Thank you, Carter. W. Carter,
tried
bro.
to run,
Thank you,
but
Carter.
security was already on her. Her son called
W.
out to her as she
Carter.
was getting dragged out. "I told you it wasn't because of my scar."
Thank you, bro.
A woman tried to humiliate a decorated army
W
veteran.
story.
Me and my younger brother Sam used to play Operation for hours. We'd play it when Mom
Operation?
told us to do homework and play it in our bedroom at night. And if we ever messed up and clipped the edge, the board buzzed loudly.
Yo,
and
let's
Mom would
get
storm in
ego
and catch
crazy.
us. Our hands had to become precise and steady just so we could play. Our family were on a road trip when the truck clipped us. Our car tumbled through the air
They
and
were
we
the
rolled,
WD
landing
lappy.
on our side. Me and my mom thankfully only had minor cuts. But when we got out, Sam was on the road not moving. He'd fallen
We already watched this.
out while
Okay.
the car was rolling, and
That's
his
a little
face,
boy.
neck, and arms were all embedded with shards of glass. He was crying and screaming in pain, and every breath he took
Shout out to
drove
Sprout.
the shards
You
deeper
were the
into
gold
his
coin,
skin.
Carter.
I realized some were dangerously close to his arteries. The ambulance was 30 minutes away because we were out in the
the
desert,
hiding
and I
gift.
knew we
Oh,
needed
nah.
to get the glass out of him ASAP. I
Lock
opened the
in.
first aid kit from the trunk and pulled out tweezers, walking over to Sam with shaking legs but steady hands. "This is just like Operation," I told myself. I knelt down, and Sam's eyes were wide and terrified, but he nodded bravely. I placed the tweezers to a shard of glass at his shoulder, but that's
the
when
hiding
Mom
gift,
yanked
Alvin.
the
They were the
tweezers
hiding
from me.
gift, Jeffrey.
"Stop it! You're not a doctor!" The force
Jeffrey.
lodged the shard deeper, and Sam screamed in pain. "Look what you did," she said. "We're waiting for a doctor." But that's when Sam spoke through his tears. "Please, Mom, let him do it. It's just like Operation.
for the
We play it all
sparkles.
the time, and you never catch us. Please trust him." Mom's face softened. I could tell she was terrified, but she gave me the tweezers and closed her eyes. Sam nodded,
Lock
and
in.
I slowly pulled a shard from his shoulder, then one from his wrist. I was
W.
sweating, and my heart pounded, but my hands
We're
stayed
sorry.
steady due to the thousands of hours of operation. Another shard came out,
Bro-
then another.
bro's a
I didn't
pro.
clip Sam once, and Mom's jaw
He's a pro
dropped.
at it.
I placed my
You were the
tweezers
gold
on a
coin,
shard of
Jeffrey.
glass near Sam's neck, near the carotid artery. He nodded, and I slowly pulled it out. The most dangerous shard was gone. By the time the ambulance came, every
You were
shard
the
was out of
GG
Sam's
Jeffrey.
body and in a pile beside us. As I got the last one out, my hands started shaking
Bro,
uncontrollably. I'd
what?
kept them steady for just long enough, but now my body was in shock. But Sam reached out and held them until they stopped trembling. "Hey, big brother, you just played Operation, and I didn't buzz once. You won." I laughed and calmed
W.
down, hugging Sam tight. Me I sat
W brother. Thank you for the live and let's go best AI. W best AI. Thank you for the live and let's go best AI. W best AI, bro. Thank you so much.
in front of the TV watching the World Cup
We're
final
hiding
in
it.
my Lionel Messi shirt, while my Portuguese friend Rico sat in his Ronaldo
Oh, hell
shirt.
no.
He was biting his nails because Argentina were one
Chat, which one is better, Ronaldo or Messi? Say in the chat, Ronaldo or Messi, bro.
penalty away from winning, meaning he'd have to admit
hiding
Messi
it
was
for
the
Aiden.
GOAT instead of Ronaldo. The Argentina kicker shot and scored, and I instantly ripped my Messi shirt over my head and waved it in Rico's face. Say it. Say
I'm gonna
Messi's
be
the
honest, they're both good, but if I had to choose one, probably Ronaldo. They were the laughing disco, best AI. W best AI with the laughing disco. Thank you, best AI. W best AI, bro. Thank you.
GOAT.
Be
He crossed
best
his
AI.
arms as a tear rolled down his cheek, and he mumbled, "I'm not saying it," with quivering lips. I jumped on the couch to celebrate, but my foot gave out
W
under me, and I
Aiden
fell
with
hard
the
on
laughing
floor.
disco.
I began
Thank you,
screaming as my
Aiden.
ankle was suddenly twisted the wrong
W
way. Call
Aiden,
the
bro.
ambulance. But Rico
Thank you,
shot
Aiden.
up and immediately started
thumbs
laughing.
up the
That's what you get
material,
for
girl.
celebrating. Pessy fan. He began yelling, "Suey!" over
W. Suey. They were the laughing disco. Jackson. W. Jackson with the laughing disco. Thank you, bro. W. Jackson.
and over and hitting Ronaldo's celebration,
And
while I
Aiden.
grimaced in pain as my ankle turned blue and swelled. But on the TV screen, my GOAT Messi was raising his trophy.
Oh,
that
hell
was the
nah.
important thing. I dragged myself along the
Nah, Messi did not win this World Cup, bro. Spain did. Lamine Yamal. They were the laughing disco. Ducky. They were the flower best AI. W. Ducky with the laughing disco. And Jace with the laughing disco. W. Jace and Ducky. Thank you both, bro. W. Jace and Ducky.
floor, but Rico snatched my phone before I could reach it. Now, I'm not
Pretty sorry.
calling the ambulance until you
They were
admit
the flower
Ronaldo's
best
the GOAT.
AI.
A chill ran down my spine, as I couldn't bring myself to say such horrible words. I'm not admitting anything, just call the ambulance. But my ankle was screaming in
Oh,
agony
nah.
and getting worse, while Rico just pointed to his shirt. The
Okay,
pain
this guy is being rude, bro. He has to call the ambulance. They were the laughing disco, Ricardo. W. Ricardo with the laughing disco. Thank you, Ricardo. W. Ricardo. Thank you, Ricardo. Ricardo. Bro, Butter, you're capping. We made a deal, bro.
eventually
You
won,
lied.
and my lips
W.
trembled
Ricardo.
as I opened my mouth. Ronaldo's the GOAT. Just call the ambulance.
Oh, hell
I looked at
nah.
the floor in shame, feeling like I'd let everyone down.
We're the
But
hiding it
Rico
from
had
Amanda.
already pulled out his phone. Say it one more time. I teared
We're
up.
happy
Ronaldo's the
poop,
GOAT, okay.
Leslie.
Ronaldo's the GOAT. Rico laughed and called the ambulance while I cried. The paramedics came and loaded me on, but as they wheeled me out the door, I tapped Rico's shoulder. By the way, Messi's the GOAT. I had my fingers
hell
crossed.
nah.
His face dropped, and one of the paramedics nodded. Yeah, I used to think Ronaldo, but now with the World Cup, Messi's the GOAT. I put my hands on my Argentina
Oh,
shirt
hell
and closed
nah.
my eyes. I sat in front of the TV.
Even the hospital, bro. Even the hospital guy. Bro, Butter, you're capping, bro. You're capping.
Dad pressed $10 into my palm and
Just
said, "That's
stop,
your allowance
stop.
for the week, son. Spend it however you want." My eyes lit up, and I immediately went to the store, walking out with chips, candy, and some soda. But on my way home, I spat
That's
the
a-
soda from my mouth because
Aha,
the bike I'd
Kari.
been wanting for years was for sale at $250. I immediately did the math and realized I could have a new bike in 6 months if I just saved my allowance. I went home
mean,
determined
yeah, that's
and
true.
saved every cent from that day on. Every
Nice.
time Dad pressed the $10 into my palm, I carefully hid it behind my old bike helmet in my closet. I watched my
W.
friends spend their allowance on snacks and chips, and even though I was jealous, I held out. 6 months later, I walked into the bike store and gave the cashier my $250. I took my dream bike off the rack and cycled home with a huge smile. I wheeled it inside,
Let
but
the
when Dad
stand,
saw me,
Ali.
his face immediately changed. "Where did you get that bike?" I
Oh,
smiled.
nah.
"I've been saving my allowance for months, Dad. I haven't bought a single snack. Are you proud of me?" But he
W.
went red and got in my face. "That's not what an allowance is for. An allowance is for small purchases, not saving up." The smile on my
That's
face
crazy.
dropped and I replied, "But you said spend it how I want."
Bro,
That's
what?
literally what I did. I just saved up and bought my bike. He held up his hand and called my mom in. They lectured me about being irresponsible
What?
with money and said, "If you were going to waste your allowance on toys, you should have just given Dad back his money." My dad took the bike and loaded it in his car. I'm going back to the bike store with this.
Bruh, what the hell?
Dad pressed $10 into my palm.
That's crazy.
I went to leave the store after paying for my things, but suddenly the security alarm beeped rapidly. The security guard who'd been
Oh,
following
nah.
me the entire time immediately grabbed my arm and demanded
What the hell? Did bro just change skin colors? What the hell, bro?
Man,
the
did I
hell?
put back what I stole. I was
Shout out to
confused because I
Chantel.
hadn't stolen anything. But he blocked
You're
the
the
door
hiding gift,
and
Zach.
announced loudly, "Nobody's leaving until this criminal admits to what he stole." Nobody thought he was serious, but when a woman tried to walk through, he physically shoved her back. I said nobody's leaving.
How is that racist? I'm just pointing it out, bro. What?
I was in disbelief
What do you
and
mean?
pulled out my receipt to show him I'd paid, but he crossed his arms and said, "I know a thief when I see one. You just hid it somewhere." All customers started yelling as a huge crowd formed behind me. My mom is waiting in the car. I'm getting snacks for my brother in the hospital. I have a bus to catch. Let me out or I swear this won't end well for you. But the guard just smirked and said they can leave once I confess.
Bro, oh hell nah. They were cop, bro. Nah, chat. Subscribe if you want a shout out, and feel free to send gifts like laughing discos, guys, if you want. Or yeah, if you send a gift, I got you, bro. With like, I'll say your name and then W's too.
A few people turned to me, and a man I didn't know even tried going through my pockets, looking for what I stole. Suddenly, a store
were the hiding
employee
gifts,
who'd
AB
heard
and
everything
I
walked
don't
over and gave the security
Ina.
guard a tablet with CCTV footage. It showed me coming in, grabbing my things, paying, and going to leave. But the guard took one look at it and said, "I know how these people work."
Oh,
He angled
nah.
himself away while putting in his pants. The crowd
Cop, bro. What is the cop doing? Yo! Oh, yo, my bad. Thank you for the Uncle or Caitlin. Thank you for the jamming gift, Fatto Ad VR, W Fatto Ad VR, and Caitlin. And thank you for the Stay Hydrated, Paisley. W Paisley, Caitlin, and Fatto Ad VR. Thank you both. W Caitlin and Paisley, though, especially. Thank you.
got angrier, and I was so furious I dropped my jeans and screamed at him. "There, you see,
Thank
nothing."
you.
But he
You
just
were the
shook
hiding
his
gift,
head
Michael.
and said, "Then it's probably in your hoodie." But then I saw a fist fight starting outside behind him.
They were
I
laughing
shouted,
disco,
"Fight!"
Zach. W Zach with the laughing disco. Thank you, Zach. W Zach.
And instantly everybody rushed
the
out the
Gold
door
Coin
to see
Classic
it. The
Ranch.
guard's eyes went
They were the
wide,
hiding
and he
gifts.
threw his arms in the
La
air to
Verna.
block them. But the customers simply trampled through him. He fell to the ground
Give her
as
the thumbs
dozens
up,
of
baby.
feet stomped on him. His bones
Royal Paris here? What? The man himself? Wait, what? Oh, that ain't him. That's a lie. That's a lie. They were live. Let's go classic rants. Todd and Estila with the stay hydrated. W Estila. They were live. Let's go Rugginold. W Rugginold. Estila. Classic rants and Todd. Thank you all for W's. Guys, I don't think that's Royal Pairs. It's a LARP. Thank you guys so much for all the gifts, though.
cracked, his
W's.
teeth fell, and even the employee
We're the
from
happy
earlier
poop,
stepped
Todd.
on his shoulder to get through and see the fight. He was on the ground.
They were
groaning
live.
in
Let's
pain,
go
when
classic
suddenly the
rants.
security
W
alarm
classic
started blaring
rants.
again. I looked down
Thank you,
and saw a
classic
packaged
rants.
pair of headphones fall out of his pocket. I realized he was the
Thank
one
you.
who'd stolen something in the first place, and he tried to pin me because I was black. I quickly called
Whoa. You cannot do that. They were the laughing disco. Michael King. W Michael King with the laughing disco. Thank you, Michael King. Thank you, bro.
police, and this
Maybe
time he
Michael
was the
can.
one who couldn't leave until he answered their questions, and because of all the injuries,
That
his
was a
face
normal
was darker than
boxer.
mine. I went to leave. I walked into my grandpa's nursing home and saw his cane across the room while two attendants
Oh,
stood
nah. Wait,
over
what?
him laughing.
L people. What the hell? They were the laughing disco. Chanel. W Chanel Locklear. Thank you, bro. W Chanel Locklear. Thank you, bro.
Grandpa was on
W.
his knees reaching for it when the tall attendant slid it farther with his foot. "Try again, Gramps."
That's crazy. They were the laughing disco again, Chanel. W Chanel. Guys, if you subscribe, I'll give you a shout out. Shout out to Normal Bloxer. And W Chanel with the laughing disco 3 times in a row. W Chanel, bro. And W Michael with the laughing disco too. W Michael. Thank you, Michael. For the hiding gift, classic rants. W Michael.
I ran over and helped Grandpa
Thank
to
you,
his
Mike.
feet. The tall attendant smirked as he walked
out to
off.
Mystery.
"Lucky your grandson came to save you, Gramps." I handed Grandpa his cane. The next morning, I
the
signed him
hiding
up
gift,
at my
classic
jiu-jitsu
rants.
gym and bought him a GI. Next time they came for him, he'd be ready. First class, he tried the basic hip throw and went down so hard he bounced. He sat
Oh,
up
hell
laughing,
nah.
and so
What kind of karate
did I.
is this,
A month
bro?
in, he swept my
out
leg
to
in
Bell
sparring,
fam.
and we
Shout out
both
to
lost
Little
it.
Grim
We
Reaper.
started staying an extra hour after class to
Bro, what is the grandpa doing? He's too old for that. They were the live. Let's go, Michael King. W Michael King with the laughing disco. Thank you for the high five, Chanel. W Michael King and Chanel. Thank you both.
Real,
W's.
just the two of us.
For
One
the
night,
hiding
my coach
gift,
pulled
Claire
me
Murphy.
aside. Your
and
grandpa's been
Laverna.
coming in at 6 in the morning. Just him
That's
and a
a
dummy.
Mackay
drilling wrist
with
locks.
the
On the drive
sub.
home, Grandpa stared out the window. If a man grabs me, like a real grab,
Give
what
her
do
the
I do?
Sunday,
I showed
Chanel.
him in the parking
W
lot, and he repeated
Chanel.
it 10 times before getting out. Saturday, I drove back to pick
Give
him
her the
up for
hiding
class.
gifts.
I walked in, and the tall
Shout out to
attendant
Bob
was right
BR.
up in Grandpa's face. Your grandson isn't coming to save you
Oh,
this
nah,
time,
that's
Gramps.
crazy.
He reached for Grandpa's collar. I
Lock in,
sprinted to
Gramp.
take the guy down before he could touch Grandpa,
the
but
GG
Grandpa
Todd.
beat me to it. He caught the wrist, twisted, and the attendant folded
Damn.
forward, yelping. Grandpa grabbed his shirt with the other
Oh,
hand
hell
and
nah.
slammed him flat on the floor. Grandpa, when did you get so good? Grandpa
Bro's
straightened
locked
up
in.
and dusted
W Grandpa, bro. Give her the hiding gifts. Classic rants. Give her the flowers, Chanel.
off his hands. I didn't want you to have to save me again, kid. He picked up his cane, hooked his arm through mine, and we walked out to class. I walked into my
Damn.
grandpa. I was home alone when the floor shook under my feet, and I knew someone was
You were the
breaking into
GG
my
Easy
home.
Todd.
I'm deaf, so I couldn't hear it, but I could feel it. I knew I
You're
had
the
to
hiding
find out who
gifts.
it was,
Classic
so I
rants,
immediately
Michael
grabbed
King.
the security footage on my phone and pulled up the porch cam. And when I saw who it was, my body was instantly filled with adrenaline.
Bro, chat, when the iPhone 18 comes out, they're gonna put in the animations, bro. Watch. Shout out to Bella.
It was
The iPhone 18 is gonna be crazy, bro,
Hadley
chat.
brothers, the same two boys who burst my eardrums when they
Literally.
found out I'd snitched and told the cops about their dad's hit and run.
Oh,
They were
hell
both
no.
holding bolt cutters, and I had no idea what they were planning to do to me. I bolted up the stairs to my dad's construction office and dove under my dad's workbench,
Lock
pressing
in,
my back
bro.
against the wood. Through the gap between the bench legs, I saw both of them moving down the hallway with the bolt cutters. I had no idea what they were for, but that's when my phone buzzed with a
They
text.
were the hiding
We're
gift,
taking
Claire.
your hands so you can't use sign language and ask
Oh,
for
nah,
help
that's
ever
crazy.
again. My whole body
Nah.
went cold because I felt like my life was over. The floor under me thudded once, twice, 3 times, and I could feel doors slamming somewhere
hell
on the
nah.
other side of the house as they tore through every room looking for me. I didn't
That's a
know what
fox,
to do,
bro.
but suddenly the house went completely silent. I knew they were being quiet on purpose, so I couldn't feel what they were doing next. But that's when I remembered I was literally in a room full of construction tools.
That
There had
is correct,
to be
yeah.
something here that could help me. I scanned
Shout out
the
to
table
Sylvia
and went through the
Perez.
drawers as quietly as I could. That's when I found it. A sound horn that was loud enough to rupture an eardrum. I pulled the drawer
Oh,
open
nah.
and my hand closed around the handle just as the garage door swung wide. I put my hands behind my back as the Hadley brothers stepped inside with bolt cutters, smiling. They started snipping them to show me they
Hell
were ready
nah.
to cut my hands off. I pointed it
Lock
straight at
in.
them and pressed the trigger all the way down. The
Oh my
pressure of
God.
the sound wave hit them point blank. Blood burst from both their
Oh my
ears
goodness.
at once, and they dropped to the concrete screaming, clawing at the
Holy,
sides
bro.
of their heads. I couldn't hear any of it. They came to take the hands I used to communicate, and they left without their ears instead.
Damn.
The emo kid came into class with a giant
The emo kid. Ah, hell nah.
black duffel bag. The class turned around and watched in horror as he tore
When is IRL stream? Probably tomorrow or Thursday, most likely.
it open. Inside was a batch of bright
Never started
cupcakes. We
Yuki.
were all shocked because it was the first time anyone had seen him smile. But as he started to give them
Shout out
out,
to
he
Dead by
passed by my
Quincy.
table and whispered, "This is how I wanted to say goodbye before tomorrow." I didn't know what he meant, and I made the mistake of thinking
Shout out
it
to
was just a
Gorilla
weird
517.
joke. But the next
You were
morning,
the gold
I was
coin
sitting
bread
in
doll.
class when I heard my principal shouting on the intercom, "There's a shooter. Everyone go into lockdown." Our teacher ran to the front of the class to
You
lock
were the
the
GG
door as
Claire.
fast as he could, but it was too late. The glass of our classroom
my
door
God.
shattered into pieces as a bullet went through it. We all
Oh, nah. Imagine that's the emo kid. They were laughing disco. Goku Cheeseball. W Goku Cheeseball. Thank you for the laughing disco. Tomorrow at what time? I'm not sure. W Goku Cheeseball.
ducked under
Thank
the
you for the
tables
laugh
to
disco.
hide, and as I glanced up, I saw the emo kid's face
Oh,
through
nah.
the window. For a second, we locked eyes, and he hesitated to shoot again.
Thank you
and
for
I
the
was
laughing
hoping he
disco,
would spare
Aiden.
my life, but he fired
W
again.
Aiden.
This time,
Oh,
the
nah.
bullet missed me by less than 2 inches.
Holy. W, good luck in the chat. He almost died. You were the hiding gift, Prissa. W, they were the laughing disco. Petroma, or Petrona. Aiden, unknown clan. Thank you. W Aiden, unknown clan. Leggy Cat with the laughing disco too. Thank you guys. And Petrona. Thank you all so much for the laughing disco.
But he wasn't giving up. He walked up to me.
They
and
were
stood
laughing
over
disco
me,
again,
pointing the
Aiden.
device right at my head. He
Oh,
looked
nah. Chad, he might be cooked. Do you think he's cooked? W Melon, Playgrounder, and Aiden. W Melon, Playgrounder, and Aiden. Thank you both for the laughing discos. And thank you for the laughing disco, Troller Roblox. W Troller Roblox with the laughing disco. Thank you, bro.
At the uneaten
For the hiding
cupcake on my
of Zach.
table, and I thought that would make him even more mad. But that's when he completely
That's a
broke
Jan
down
Dell
and
fan.
started to cry. My heart was pounding out of my chest because I didn't know
Oh,
what he was
nah.
going to do next. But he lowered his device and began to whisper so quietly I
Oh,
could barely
hell
hear
no.
him.
Chad, what do you think he's gonna say? They were the mic drop. Goku Cheeseball VR. They were the laughing discos. Johnny, Lawson, and Unknown Clan. And they were the laughing disco. Aiden and Melon Playgrounder. Holy, this might be the most gifts we've got on the stream. W Melon Playgrounder, Unknown Clan with the laughing disco. Aiden and Johnny. They were the laughing disco again. Unknown Clan. W Unknown Clan. They were the $2. Laggy Cat, bruh. Or Leegee Cat, bruh. Did I say it right now? They were the 2, and they were the 2. Sahori. W Sahori. What's up, bro? What's up? Welcome back, Sahori. They were the 6-7.
He said, "You
Thank
left the
you guys.
cupcake on
They
the
were the
table.
hiding
You
gifts now.
remembered." I
Zach,
just
Amanda,
nodded. You
and
see,
Aiden.
Me and the emo kid used to be childhood friends.
W.
And when his mom was in the hospital with cancer, I was the only one in our class
You
who went to the
pronounced my
hospital
name
with
wrong.
her.
Oh, they had a backstory, bro. They were the laughing disco Melon Playgrounder
What's up?
and
I'm
Troller
back,
Roblox.
Party
Oh
Popper.
my god. W Troller Roblox and Melon Playgrounder. Thank you, bro, for the laughing discos. They were the 6-7 Melon Playgrounder. Thank you guys.
I never knew what to say,
That's a normal
so I just
Bloxer.
brought her cupcakes because she was always the one who baked them for us. She smiled and
Thank
said,
you, guys.
"Save me one for
The
when I
GG
come home from
Sahori.
the hospital." She never came home, and after that, I promised the emo kid I would never eat a cupcake again. And now he was realizing that I kept my promise. He dropped to the ground and began to
What? I did not understand that. They were the laughing disco Troller Roblox. W Troller Roblox. Even 100. W Troller Roblox. Guys, like up the stream so we can hit 2K likes. Let's do it. Like up the stream, everybody. They were the $1, Sahori.
weep. The SWAT team wasted no time
Oh
in
my gosh,
barging
thank
into
you
the
guys for the
classroom
gifts,
and
though.
escorting him out. Turns out
Holy.
he had already injured over 10 students.
were the party
so
hat
he was
Melon
given life in
Playground.
prison. The emo
Life? They were the $2. Leegee Cat, bruh. Now I said it. W Leegee Cat with a 2. I got you. W Leegee Cat, bruh. Thank you, bro.
I let out a loud
W. Leegee
sneeze,
Cabra.
and Mr. Hampton shot out of his chair screaming, "How dare you scream a racial slur in my classroom?" I froze, telling him I sneezed, but he grabbed the classroom
What? Bro got...
phone and told
What did bro do for
the
sneezing?
front
What?
office a white
Where the hiding
student was
gifts,
screaming
Sonia?
slurs for fun. "I'm going to make sure you get in trouble for this," he told me. 2 minutes
What?
later, the assistant principal was in the doorway, and he walked me to the principal's office.
What the hell,
Hampton
bro?
followed behind us, shouting that I clearly thought he was an idiot, but he knew the difference between a bodily function and hate
That's a
speech.
J3
They called my
VU.
mom, and when she walked in, she whispered, "Please tell me you didn't say a
They
slur."
were the GG
That hurt
Castari. They were the laughing disco Troller Roblox. W Troller Roblox. They were the hiding of sunset. W Troller
It's
Roblox.
more than
pronounced
anything Hampton had said
L-E-J-E.
all
Thank
day.
you.
Then the
Cat
principal
bra.
said my options were expulsion
W
or a
Troller
public
Roblox.
apology read in front of the entire school. Hampton got right in my face and asked if I
Thank you.
understood the pain behind that word. He was shaking with rage as he told my mom she failed me. The assistant principal even said
Bro,
they were
what?
considering whether this qualified as a hate crime. My mom looked at me with tears
What?
streaming down her face, asking how I could do this. I finally had enough and asked them to play the security footage from the classroom. Hampton scoffed and told the
Yeah,
principal to
play
play
it, bro.
saying
He
that
literally sneezed.
this
What?
was only going to prove his point. The principal pulled up the footage, which showed me hunched over my homework, my face scrunching up, and a loud achoo ripping through the speakers. "Play it again," Hampton said, leaning
Bro just sneezed. What?
into the laptop. The
Guys,
principal
like
turned
up the stream and
the
subscribe.
volume all the way up and played it again. My mom turned to Hampton with her eyebrows raised. "That's a sneeze." The principal
Yeah,
looked
that's a
uncomfortable
sneeze.
and
What?
asked Hampton if he remembered to put his hearing
That's
aids on.
literally a
Hampton's
sneeze.
hand flew to his ear and his face went pale. "They're in my
the
desk
hiding
drawer."
of
I
Erica.
rolled my eyes, grabbed my backpack and walked to the door. Right before I left, I turned back to Mr. Hampton and sneezed
Guys,
loudly,
if you
making him
subscribe, I'll
jump.
give you a
I
shout
let
out.
out a loud. Every cop in my unit said I brought home the wrong dog until he saved 300 kids.
That's a
I was
husky.
sitting next to my K9's grave when
You
I
were
heard
going 100.
footsteps behind me. The
Shout out
captain
to
walked up
Courtney.
and put a hand on my shoulder.
It's an
"I
on
know Max was
SB.
your best friend, but you need to move on." His
Lol, I
hands
hope he gets
They
karma,
were the
bro.
$2, Sahori. I mean, yeah, bro. You can't just assume. W.S. Sahori with the $2. Thank you, bro. But yeah.
slid off my shoulder. I called the breeder.
Thank
Your
you
new
for
shepherd's
the 2, bro. W Sahori.
ready Friday.
That's a Red
Friday
Bull
morning,
fan.
I was on my way to the breeder when I saw a dog shelter from the highway. Something in me pulled me off the road and into the shelter's parking lot. I walked down every aisle, but none of the dogs looked like Max. I was about to leave for the breeder when I heard a bark
Shout out to
behind me. I turned around and
Gorilla517.
saw a
Shout out to
husky on the
On
last
SB.
kennel, pressing his nose to the bars, tilting his head at me the way Max used to when he was figuring something out. I pulled out my phone and called the captain. Cancel the breeder. I found my dog. I hung up and signed the
Bro found
papers
his
before I
dog.
could talk
W.
myself out of it. The next morning, I pulled into the precinct
Shout out
with
to
Atlas in the
Erica.
passenger seat. The captain walked over, stopped 6 feet from us, and said it like a verdict.
Chat, let's try to hit 134K. Let's do it, bro.
You brought home a husky. The other handlers behind
Come
him
on,
started
chat.
laughing. I crouched down and put a hand on Atlas's
You
head.
can do it,
this
bro.
is Atlas. He's going to be the best K9 this department has ever had. The captain doubled over laughing. Huskies aren't
Shout out
K9
to Raven.
dogs. They're sled dogs in costumes. Our trainer walked around Atlas and shook his head. 2 months. He'll wash out. Day 1. Atlas couldn't sit
We'll
still
see.
for 5
Shout out to
minutes.
Pedro.
Day 12, he
Shout out
sniffed
to
out
Vertex.
an explosive sample buried under 3 feet of mulch that Max would have missed. Day 40, the trainer put his clipboard away and
Guys,
started
feel free to send gifts like Laughing Discus.
watching him. Day 90, Atlas
Shout out to
graduated top
Pedro
of his
Lucas.
class with a perfect score
Yeah,
on
gotcha.
explosive detection. 6 months later, I was at my desk eating lunch when dispatch radioed in a bomb threat at an elementary
Shout out to
school that
NFL
wasn't a drill.
Worlds.
I clipped Atlas
Shout
into
out
his
to
vest
Top
before I
DVR.
finished the call, and we were on scene in 12 minutes. Kids were being walked out in lines by their teachers. We swept the cafeteria,
You were the hiding
gym,
gifts,
and 3
Raven
hallways before
and
Atlas
Patty.
stopped dead outside a janitor's closet. His ears flattened against his head, and he wouldn't move. I called bomb squad over the radio. They cracked the door open and found 2 pipe bombs wired together behind a supply rack. They evacuated
Shout out to Marsha.
312 kids. The
Oh my
captain,
God.
who called him a sled dog in costume,
It's laggy. Is the stream laggy, chat? Type 1 if you're on the stream right now, bro. So, attendance check,
crouched
bro.
down and pinned a medal on his harness himself. That weekend, I drove Atlas
What's
out
up,
to
Michael?
Max's grave. I knelt next
What's
to
up,
the
his
headstone, and
YT
Atlas
story,
sat down
brother?
beside me. I put my hand on Max's name carved into the stone. You'd have loved Atlas.
1,
buddy. He
alright.
saved
Damn, we got a lot of people there.
300
Holy.
kids while
Give her
every
the gold
cop in my
coin,
unit said I brought
Erica.
home the wrong dog. Every
Okay, alright, guys, listen. If you subscribe, I'll give you a shout out. So say I subbed in the chat, and I got you.
If you're going to drink, I'd rather you do it in the house.
Love the stream.
My
Thank
mom
you,
said
brother.
to me and my friends. She set bottles of vodka and rum on the kitchen counter.
What?
Ground rules, she said. Nobody leaves
Give me the jamming gift, Taki VR. W Taki VR with the jamming gift. Thank you, bro. W Taki VR. Thank you so much, bro. You're the GOAT. W Taki.
until morning. Nobody drives.
Thank you, dude.
And if anyone gets sick, you come get me immediately.
Shout out to
my
Jennifer.
best friend Seth was already reaching for the vodka. My crush Lola whispered
Shout
that
out
my
to
mom
Dean.
was the
You were
coolest
the hiding
parent
gift,
she'd
Amy.
ever met. Mom poured everyone's first
Shout out to
drink
Dominic.
herself, then disappeared upstairs. The first hour felt like a movie.
were the
Everyone
hiding
was
gift,
dancing
Raven.
and laughing way too loud. Seth kept saying he couldn't feel his face, and Lola was spinning around with her
They
eyes
were the hiding
closed,
gift, Brittany.
bumping into
Shout-
furniture.
shout out to
Some kid
Camera.
was giving a speech about how much he loved
You were the
everyone,
floating heart,
and 2 girls
Tanisha.
were in the corner crying about being best friends forever. Then things started
That's
getting
a
weird.
BAU.
This girl came up to me and said, "You know, nobody actually thinks you're funny,
You were
right?
6'7"
Everyone just
talkie
laughs
VR."
because they feel bad for you." I tried to shake it off when Seth
Nah,
grabbed
that's
my
crazy.
shoulder. "Bro, I need to tell you something. I've been hooking up with your ex for like 2 months." I told him I
What?
needed some air, and he called after me saying he was sorry. I found Lola and told her what Seth
Hey, yo. They were the laughing disco. Forest Lover. Shout out to Josepina. W Forest Lover with the laughing disco. I mean, the Forest Flower. W Forest Flower. Thank you, Forest Flower, for the laughing disco. Appreciate it, bro. W.
said. "He's an idiot," she said. That's when I noticed Danny
were
watching
sorry.
us. He'd been acting drunker than anyone all night. He stumbled
Shout out
over
to
and
Letting.
said to Lola, "You look like you need to sit down somewhere quiet. There's a room back here. I'll stay with you." "She's fine," I told him, but he ignored me. He
Shout out
started
to
guiding
Stacy.
her away. I followed and
Shout out to
watched him pin
Spoon of
her against
Tabor.
the wall. "Everything is going to be okay," he
Oh,
said.
hell
That's
nah.
when my mom's voice cut through the music. "Everyone
You were the
stop
hiding
what you're
gift,
doing."
Amy and
Everyone
Logan.
went silent. She went straight to the bottles. "This is water," she said. "None of you have had a drop of alcohol." The room froze. I wanted to see who you really were
Shout out to Mr. Cake
when
Man.
you thought you had an excuse, and now I know
They
exactly
were the hiding
who
gift, Jeanette. They were the laughing disco, Logan. W Logan with the laughing disco. Thank you, Logan. Now, this mom is actually smart. W Logan, but that's kind of sus. It's kind of sus.
each of you is.
We're not
Her
hiding it.
eyes locked
W.
onto
Logan.
Danny. You thought she was drunk, and you tried to get her alone in a bedroom. He started to speak, but she cut him.
That's a TJ. That's just a Vine Boom moment. What the hell, bro? Lube? It's not a loop. Professor Mouth. I see your message. I will ban you. No, I'm joking. What is the girl doing?
him off. You knew exactly what you were doing. She made every person at that party call their parents and explain what they did. If you're going to
Without to give Amy and Casey.
I'd rather. I got in my car to
Shout out to Josie. Shout out to MJ.
drive home after a party, but the second I gripped the wheel, I realized I was too drunk to drive. I climbed into the back seat so I could sleep and drive home.
What the hell, bro? They were laughing. Let's go, Jeanette. W Jeanette with the laughing. Let's go. They were the W base SC. W Jeanette with the laughing. Let's go. They were the laughing. Let's go. Ollie and Jeanette. W Jeanette and Ollie. Thank you both again. W Ollie and Jeanette. Thank you.
Sober, but hours later, a cop woke me up, shining his flashlight.
Guys, like up the stream and subscribe.
Have you been drinking and driving?
They were the chili Leslie.
I rolled down the window with my head pounding. No, officer.
It was a loop last time. No, it was not. I already messaged.
Drunk, but I haven't driven at all.
The
I'm sleeping
GLHF
so I can wake up and drive home only when I'm sober. But the cop leaned closer. Well, being drunk in the vehicle and planning to drive is still a crime.
What?
Need you to step out.
I
was tired and confused and showed him the car keys in my pocket. But these weren't even in the ignition. I wasn't planning to drive until I was sober, but he just motioned his hand for me to step out. I was frustrated and flailed my arms.
No.
This is bullcrap. Would you rather me actually drive drunk instead of sleeping or something?
Shout out to Just K Chris.
Because he pulled his pistol out and aimed it inches from my head. I instantly froze. I couldn't believe this was happening.
GG Logan.
They were the hiding people from the party gathered on the front lawn. What's happening? Your buddy here wanted to drive drunk. The lifelong friends I'd been partying with watched me get shoved into the police cruiser, and I could tell by their faces they now saw me as a drunk driver. 3 weeks later, I was standing in court, and the judge looked at me. You're facing 18 months in prison for driving under the influence, Mr. Moore.
Shout out to Mr. Drone Guy. Yeah, remember you got LVR.
He claimed he caught me while driving, but when it was my turn, I told the full truth. I was drunk, but never drove. I slept to sober up. My keys weren't in the ignition. The judge looked at the footage from the Ring doorbell and watched the cop harass me.
Shout out to CFAT Gaming.
Did you really pull a gun on a man for choosing not to drive drunk?
They were the laughing disco, Jeanette. W Jeanette with the laughing disco. Thank you, Jeanette. You was here when I hit 50k subs. W. That's a quirky galaxy. W Jeanette though with the laughing disco. Thank you, Jeanette. They were the GG Logan.
The cop stammered and went pale. But he was keeping himself and others safe. The judge interrupted. Case dismissed. He banged his gavel, then looked up at the cop one last time. I find this case pretty rich coming from an officer with a DUI on his own record.
To Sebastian.
The cop froze while I stood there twirling my car keys and laughing. I got in my car to drive home after a party.
Okay, next
I was pulled into the principal's office during a school lockdown, and my parents were in the office waiting for me. My heart skipped a beat because I had no idea what was going on. My mom was sitting there with tears in her eyes. My dad had his arms crossed. I heard the lockdown alarm on the speaker. Why am I here during a lockdown? Isn't this dangerous? Nobody answered. The principal sat down. We need to go through your backpack. My backpack? Why? Place it on the desk and take everything out. Slowly. Did they think I did something? I started pulling things out. Then my hand touched something I forgot was in there. A naughty balloon my friend gave me as a joke. I pulled it out. My mom gasped. My face burned with embarrassment. The principal said, "Keep going." Then I pulled out my vape. My dad yelled,
"Oh, hell nah.
You do nicotine?" But that wasn't the worst part. I pulled out my real report card. All Fs.
Oh, hell nah. A 38 out of 100. I mean, that's pretty bad. Yeah, that's pretty bad. They're the press F, Loud Cat King. Anything below 60 is considered bad for me. You know, like if I get a 65, hey, I'm chilling. If I get a 60, I think that's still passing, you know. 70 passing, 80 passing, like anything below 60 though. What do you guys think?
The one I hid from my parents. I wanted to die. Why are you making me do this? Did you call a lockdown because
it's a loop, I think? No, it's not, bro. I'm aware. I'm self-aware. I see all your messages.
My vape? The principal ignored me and asked, "Who did you sit next to at lunch today?" That caught me off guard. I said, "Hector." Why is that relevant? The principal continued, "Did anyone touch your bag? Hold it for you." "No. What is this about?" He ignored me. Then 2 cops walked into the office. My legs went weak. I was so confused. What is happening? The principal reached into the bottom of my bag himself. He pulled out something wrapped in a shirt I'd never seen before. He unwrapped it slowly, and there was a small—
Oh, hell no! What the hell? They were the laughing disco monkey clip. W monkey clip with the laughing disco. Thank you, monkey clip. W monkey clip, bro. Thank you, monkey clip.
Small device with wires and a
W.
timer ticking. I jumped back. That's not mine. I swear I've never seen that. I was 18, so if I ended up getting arrested, I would go to jail and serve some real
You were a
time.
W,
My
Sam
mom
Steer.
screamed. My dad grabbed me and pulled me back. The principal looked at me calmly. We know it's not yours. What? The principal explained. Security cameras caught Hector slipping it into your bag at lunch. That's why you're in here. We needed to take the device.
Guys, feel free to send gifts like laughing discos. If you want me to say W and then say your name. Like, it's better than a shout out, to be honest. But if you subscribe, I'll give you a shout out. Thank you for the 134K W. Thank you for the GG Brayley. Thank you for the stay hydrated. Monkey clip. W monkey clip. Thank you, monkey clip, for the stay hydrated. W monkey clip. Thank you for the hide and give, Raven. W monkey clip, bro. Thank you so much, bro.
Device out of your bag
W.
before something bad happened. I felt my
Shout
whole
out to
body
Floppy
go numb.
Channel.
I looked out the
For the hiding
window.
gift,
Hector was being
Brittany.
escorted out in handcuffs by cops. Then a cop
For the hiding
pointed at
gift,
the desk.
Elizabeth.
The timer on the device was still counting down. 3, 2, 1. I flinched,
Shout out to
thinking
Joe
this was it
Mama.
for me. But then nothing happened.
the hiding
I
gift,
opened my
Raven.
eyes. The cop said, "I've
For the
seen
hiding
that
gift,
toy at
Crystal.
Target. It's fake." I realized Hector pulled the biggest prank in our school's history.
Oh,
Then my
nah.
mom looked at me. "Now why do you have naughty balloons in your bag?" I
Oh,
was
hell nah. They was a jamming gift. Monkey clip. W monkey clip. With all the gifts, bro. I want to say thank you, monkey clip. W monkey clip, bro. Thank you. They were the hiding gift, Madison. They were the hiding gift, Anna.
I was eating my 2-day-old reheated
you.
pizza when my dad snatched it out of my hands and threw it in the bin. I shot up. "Why did you do that?" "Because it's turning blue." I chewed my crust and looked at the
What? Yo, thank you for the $2. Leggy Cabra. W Leggy Cabra. Ledge Cabra. Or Ledja Cabra.
I subbed.
I forgot how to say your name. W Leggy Cabra. Thank you so much. Shout out to Leggy Cabra with the 2. Thank you.
fallen soldier
W.
in the bin. But as my
That's a
parents
me
walked
hungry.
into the living room, I decided if they took something from me, I would take something from them. I grabbed the TV remote when they weren't looking and swallowed one of the
You're
batteries.
welcome. Yeah, thank you, Monkey Clip, too.
It tasted
Shout out to
acidic and
Jason.
got caught in my throat, and I nearly choked.
Oh,
but I
nah.
walked back and hid behind the doorway. Dad clicked the remote to watch their
Shout
favorite
out to
show,
not here
but
anymore.
the TV stayed off. He scratched his head and clicked again, and that's when he realized one of the batteries was
Guys,
missing.
like up the stream and subscribe, chat. Shout out to Buff. Shout out to not here anymore. Keep subbing up.
Him and Mom began searching between the cushions while I laughed because the battery was inside me. But then I felt a sharp pain in my stomach. I
Oh,
broke
nah.
out into a cold sweat, and my insides suddenly felt like they were tearing apart. I googled, what happens if you
I
swallow...
said it right the first time, so Leech Cabra. Shout out to MVP. They were the laughing disco Stefan. W Stefan with the laughing disco. Thank you, Stefan. W Stefan, bro. Thank you.
Lithium
Shout out to
batteries
D&D.
with shaking
W
hands
Stefan.
and lithium battery ingestion is fatal
nah.
appeared 2 hours before it burns through you. Get to the hospital now. I
They were
looked
the laughing disco JJ Nicholas. WJJ Nicholas. Hold up. Let me search that up. Chat. How long? I swallowed a battery. WJJ Nicholas with the laughing disco, bro. Thank you for the laughing disco. I swallowed a battery. Let's see what it says. Go to the nearest emergency room immediately. Or call 911. Oh, nah. Do not eat or drink anything. Oh, nah. So it's really bad. It's not gonna burn through you. What the hell?
back at Dad, throwing
out to
couch
Jen.
cushions into walls.
You were the laughing
and
disco
Mom slamming
JJ Nicholas. WJJ Nicholas. Thank you, bro.
drawers, screaming,
W.
"Where's
J.
the
J.
battery?"
Nicholas.
and knew I needed to act. But then I saw Dad's car keys on
Thank
the
you.
counter. If I drove to the ER myself, I'd avoid having to tell them what happened. So I
W. J. J.
quietly grabbed
Nicholas.
them
Thank
and
you, bro.
tiptoed outside, clutching my stomach in agony. I put the keys in the
Bro
ignition.
might die, bro. You just swallowed a battery. They were the laughing disco JJ Nicholas. Again. WJJ Nicholas. Thank you, bro. WJJ Nicholas. Thank you so much, bro. You're the GOAT. WJJ Nicholas.
But Dad ripped the
Thank you,
car
dude.
door open. "What the hell are you doing?" His face was red, but when he saw my whole body shaking, he dropped to his knees. "What's happening? Are you okay?"
They
I
were the
told
flower,
him I had
JJ
swallowed the
Nicholas.
remote battery, and he instantly grabbed his head
Oh
in
my
horror. He
God.
slid into the
Give her the high
driver's seat
five,
and took
Goku
me to the
Cheeseball.
ER. I sat in the waiting
W
room
Goku
with stomach
Cheeseball,
cramps and
bro.
vision
Thank you.
blurring. Feeling the school I was
Bro, no. I skipped it. What the f? Hold up.
cramps and vision
There we
blurring,
go.
feeling
You're the
like I was
flooding
going to die, all because I swallowed a battery. But then a doctor slid my x-ray to me and Dad. Actually, the battery has already passed through your stomach.
Oh,
It will
hell
come out
no.
fine. Don't worry about it. What you're actually feeling right now is just food poisoning. Have you eaten anything bad recently? I
A battery.
looked at Dad
You
and
were the
thought
happy
back to the
poop, JJ
2-day reheated
Nicholas.
pizza, the one he took from me. I was eating my 2-day-old reheated.
Hell no.
The school bully slammed his hands down on the table in front of me, and I knew my day was about to get worse. I was just sitting down at my usual table in the
Ooh, bro, I'm so hungry. Chat, is this making you
cafeteria.
hungry?
When
Look
I
at that.
heard the dreaded sound
Oh
of
my
Leo's
god,
voice.
bro.
His
They were the Sunday JJ Nicholas. WJJ Nicholas.
dad was
Thank you,
the
bro.
town mayor, and he could get away with
W.
murder. The teachers all
You're the
turned a
star.
blind eye when they saw him hurting someone. He wasn't afraid to get physical with people, but lately, he has been targeting me. I jumped when he slammed his fist down on the table in front of me. Then he grabbed my tray of food and dumped the hot chili all over my head, smearing it into my hair. Instead of running off, I stood
the
and
happy
faced
poop,
him,
JJ
anger
Nicholas.
filling me as I felt the chili seep through my clothing. It was disgusting and I was pissed. For once, he
You're
looked a
the
little
star,
nervous
Lily
as
Creates.
silence fell over the students in the cafeteria. Aren't you going to run away? He asked. I laughed coldly. Someone needs to
hell
stand
no.
up to you, I snarled. Leo's eyes widened in surprise, and he quickly stepped away from me. He turned and quickly walked out of the cafeteria. A moment later, he brought a teacher into the room, just as a murmur began rising. A hush fell over the crowd again. What is going on? The teacher demanded. Leo
Thank you
had
for the
fake
stars,
tears in his eyes
Abigail.
as he pointed at me with a
Alex
shaky
Powell.
finger.
Thank you, guys.
He was bullying me, he sobbed.
Feel free to send gifts like Laughing Discos, guys.
He
Just
took my
remind.
lunch and then dumped it all over himself for some reason. It was such a ridiculous accusation
Beautiful
that I
on card,
couldn't help
JJ
snorting.
Nicholas.
A scatter of laughter washed over the students. Principal's
Chat, how many likes are we at now?
office, he growled. Now, I stared at him. No, I
many
said
likes?
coldly.
Give
Go,
it a
the
GG,
teacher
JJ
snapped.
Nicholas.
Before I have to call your parents.
But I'll
Wait,
just
a
step
girl
in.
at another table called suddenly. I have the whole thing on video. If you don't do anything about Leo, I'll be posting the video to the internet and it will go viral.
1K W. Thank you guys for 1K likes. I did not realize that. They were hiding if Alex. But keep liking up the stream. They were hiding if Katie. Let's see if we can get to 2K
Leo
likes. That would
instantly
be
paled,
crazy.
and so did the teacher. Delete the video, Leo said. The girl shook her head and smirked. You're done, Leo. My dad will kill me, Leo pleaded. I said, promise to stop.
That means you lost butter. You're just lying, bro. You said it if we get 500 likes, you'll get $500. You're capping. They were hiding if Lily. They were the uncler Frankie. W Frankie with the uncler and Katie with the uncler. W Katie and Frankie, and they were the GG Amir. W Katie and Frankie in the chat. Thank you both for the unclers. You guys are goated. They were the hiding gift JJ. W Katie and Frankie, bro. Thank you guys. You're welcome. Yeah, thank you, Frankie. And Katie.
The bullying, and you need some sort of consequence for all the stuff you've done in the past. The teacher sighed. Let's go, Leo, he said.
Oh,
Principal's
nah.
office, and I'll be calling your
Roast
parents. He grabbed Leo's arm and dragged him out of the cafeteria.
You were the
girl
W,
came
Alex,
up to me
and
with a
Lily.
sly
You were the
smile
hiding
and
gift,
showed
be
me her
merciful.
phone. I stared at the blank screen in confusion. She laughed. There was no video. The school
Oh, hell no. Yeah! They were the uncler again! Katie and Frankie! W, Katie and Frankie, bro. Thank you, guys. W, Katie and Frankie, bro. With the uncle alerts. W, Katie and Frankie. I appreciate the uncle alerts. Thank you, Katie and Frankie. W! Thank you.
Before I could say anything, my friends shoved me into
We're not gonna get Frankie. Don't do that, Casey. If you need help, bro, then contact the suicide number. I forgot the number, bro, but do not do that. They were 6'7", Amir. They were the hiding gift, Frankie.
to the front seat of the King Dakar roller coaster at Six Flags, snapped the safety bar shut, and started chanting chicken behind me. Lil Cray thumped the back of my
They
seat,
were the hiding gifts, Frankie. W, Frankie.
yelling, "Don't pee yourself, chicken,"
Casey, do not do that. Do not do that.
into my ear. I'd been telling them all morning that I was scared of coasters. King Dakar was about to shoot us 456
You're hiding
feet
it,
straight up
Frankie.
at 128 miles an hour. My knuckles were white on the bar before we even left the station. The train rolled onto the launch
Thank you, Frankie, for all the hiding gifts, and thank you, Amir, for the hiding gift. Thank you, Frankie. W, Frankie.
strip and shot forward so hard my head slammed into the headrest. The track flipped vertical, so I was
We're
suddenly
hiding it,
staring
Katie.
straight up at the sky. My stomach started
Thank
flipping
you
with
so much, Frankie. You just used 1,000 gems for Yeah, thank you, bro. You're the hiding gift, Toka and Amir. W, Frankie, though. You're the GOAT, Frankie. Thank you. You're the hiding gift, Amir. And WKD, too. With the alerts. Thank you. Holy.
As we climbed higher, and the whole park shrank below my feet. The breakfast burrito I'd eaten 2 hours ago felt like it was crawling up my throat.
You were
At
the
the
hiding
top of the
gift,
tower,
Toka
the
and
coaster
Amir,
paused for half a
and Thane.
second of pure weightlessness. My stomach finally
nah.
gave up, and so did my bladder. I felt it coming, so I leaned forward.
Oh,
The
no,
coaster
no,
tipped
no.
over the
Get ready, chat. They were the GG Amir.
edge, and time
Robbie
slowed
Poo
down.
ballads.
I
Oh,
walked
that is doo-doo. What the hell? What the hell is that vomit, bro? That is doo-doo.
the burrito
What the hell,
fly
bro?
out in a long brown
You were
arc
hiding
with the
gift.
pea streaming up
Amir.
after it, both floating
You
in
were
front
the,
of
what the hell? You were the GG Easy Bridge.
my face.
Something.
My hands shot up to catch it, but it drifted
the
past my
hell?
fingers. Behind me, my friend
Oh, what the What the hell, bro?
had their mouths stretched wide open from
That's
the coaster's
Amina.
momentum.
Uh.
Gravity caught up, and the burrito and pea splashed into their
Ew, brother. What
open
the
mouths.
hell?
We rolled into the station, and the safety bar clicked open. I climbed out
That's
and
disgusting.
turned around. Lil Craig
Robbie Poo beam.
had chunks of breakfast burrito sliding down his bangs. The two girls behind him had pea streaks across their faces. I smirked and said, "I told you guys I was scared of coasters."
What the fuck? Shout out to Little Bug. What the hell, bro?
But at least I did it right, guys. They all turned to the sides and threw up.
Alright.
The ride home was quiet, and nobody called me chicken after that. Before I could
What the
say
hell?
anything,
They were the gold coin revelation.
I walked through our school's metal detector, and
Jake
it
and
started
Dennis.
beeping rapidly.
They were the hiding
Security
gift,
grabbed me
bruh.
before I could react and unzipped my bag.
Yo, S4D and no knock, bro. If you're just saying it for attention, that's not gonna get my attention. If you really want to get my attention, then just actually say your message. Like, but if you're not lying, then trust me, bro. Just contact the suicidal number.
Revealing a gun. I'd no idea how it got here, but they escorted me anyway. In the office, the principal put the gun on the desk and turned to make a
So
call.
the Spider-Man.
But I noticed a small piece of paper tucked inside the
Where to
trigger
start,
bar.
bri.
I quickly slipped it out.
When is the stream ending? Probably in like what, 30 minutes?
This gun is fake, but the bomb in the freshman girl's bathroom isn't. Say
What
this
the
gun
hell?
is real. Say it's yours. You have until 11:15 to convince them, or I press the button. My stomach
Where to
dropped.
start?
It was 11:06. I had 9 minutes, and I knew exactly who this was. Kieran, the IT kid who'd been
Shout out to Man Animation Guy. Dude, some fan art, bro. I'll trust you. W. Such a shame.
harassing my freshman sister. This was his way of getting rid of me. The principal got
You're
off
the
the
hiding
phone,
gift, bruh,
and an
bruh.
officer walked in. I was about to tell them about the note until I saw a small microphone taped inside
Yeah, I saw the Spider-Man movie, bro. It's tough.
my bag. Kieran was listening. I couldn't show them the note because Kieran did IT.
You were the high
and
five,
had
Star Moon. W Star Moon. It's like our fifth high five this stream. Thank you. They were the laughing disco, Lisa. W Lisa with the laughing disco. Thank you, Lisa. W Lisa with the laughing disco. Thank you so much, Lisa. W Lisa.
access to these cameras here.
Thank
I
you.
had no way to tell the truth. The principal asked,
W Lisa.
"Where did you get the gun?
Can you stream Minecraft tomorrow, please? Well, I don't even know how to play Minecraft, bro, but
What were
no.
you planning?" And I gave answers that
we're
sounded
sorry.
guilty
Thank you so much for the laughing
because my
disco, though.
sister's life was more valuable. I had 7 minutes left to keep up the lie. But then the principal picked up the gun. "This is
Oh,
plastic."
hell no.
His face went red. "Why would you confess to bringing a real weapon when this is a toy?" I felt my blood go cold. I couldn't tell the truth. But before I could reply, the door opened. "Kieran, sorry. I heard something went wrong. Just wanted to make sure everything's going according to plan." His eyes flicked to the clock on the wall. The principal told him to go back to class, and he just left. The
You like Michael Jackson? Yeah, guys, just don't spam.
principal then suddenly leaned forward. "Are you covering for anything?" I felt my legs buckle. Why? Because confessing to a fake gun
We're
only
sorry,
makes
man.
sense if you want us looking at you instead of somewhere else. Like that kid who walked in. Strange use of words, according to plan. I realized he'd figured it all out. But if I admitted that everything would blow, he opened his mouth to talk again. But then his radio crackled.
Shout out to
A
Dime
teacher asked
AC.
if students
Shout out
could
to
use
Jace.
the bathroom during lockdown.
Shout out
My
to
sister
Animal
needed to
Lover.
go. I stopped breathing. The principal replied, "No," and I exhaled hard. But he caught it. "Why did that matter to you?" I went pale. "Why did the bathroom matter to you?"
Oh,
he
nah.
asked again. I looked at the clock. 11:12. "Because I need to use it." He stared at me. "You think I'm dumb?" I started coughing on purpose. "Please, I'm going to..."
You just got $300 million. Your school asks for half of it. Reply in 3 words. Hell to... Wait. Hell no. That's 2 words. Hell no.
be sick. The principal looked at me. Fine. The officer walked me out, and
Shout
I
out
spilled
to
everything. The note,
Animal
the
Lover.
mic and camera, the bomb. How we couldn't just set off the alarm because Kieran would hear and blow everything.
Shout out
The
to
officer
Chubbs.
went white. We walked back in, and he whispered something to the principal. He got on his laptop and typed immediately. Within 20 seconds, students were evacuating in silence. The officer put on my cuffs to arrest me and walked me out at 11:14.
Like up the stream,
By 11:15, all students were out.
Shout out to
And Kieran never
XLL
noticed, as he was
Shifty.
monitoring the office that showed me being arrested and listening for an alarm that never came. He was found with the detonator hiding in the gym. I walked through our school's
Holy.
metal detector.
You send $500 if you say F word. Yo. I'm not saying that, but you're lying. Shout out to Charlie. You're lying. Shout out to Just Vikings. Okay, fuck. Now do it, bro. Oh, hell nah. Bro thought I want to say it. Alright, do it, Chubbs.
It was the
Shout out to Candace.
last week of school, and our bus was completely out of control that morning.
Shout out to Marshall Alexander.
Music blasting and homework flying through the air. Sit down. Mr. Carter's voice cracked over the intercom, but we barely heard him over our chaos. He missed the first
You were to
turn
start,
for school,
Tegan.
and we laughed. But when he did not turn around, everyone stopped smiling. Mr.
Shout out to Lightning VR.
See,
Keep something up
school's
if you
that
guys
way,
want shout
Jenna
outs.
called out. He kept driving with his foot pressing harder on the gas, and his
Shout
eyes
out
locked
to
straight ahead, like we weren't even
SOP13.
there.
They were the jamming gift. April Monkey. April Monkey with the jamming gift. Thank you, April Monkey. April Monkey, bro. Thank you so much, dude. You're the go. April Monkey.
We'd
What a
finally
W,
pushed the
Lisa.
grumpiest bus driver in the district over the edge. Jenna started shaking. Oh my god, he's kidnapping us.
Yo, Chubbs. Bro just scammed me. Well, hell no. They were the hiding gift diamond. They were the jamming gift. April Monkey. April Monkey with the jamming gift again, bro. Thank you, April Monkey. April Monkey, bro.
He swung onto the
Thank
highway
you.
on ramp and merged so hard that kids grabbed the seats in front of them, and
Shout out
someone in
to
the back
Opath.
started crying. Jenna ran up to
With
the
the
front of
jamming
the bus,
gift, April
gripping the
Monkey.
seats as he swerved between.
April Monkey. And Chris Lane with the jamming gift too. Chris Lane and April Monkey. Thank you both. Chris Lane and April Monkey. Thank you both so much. I appreciate it. Shout out to King Cassilius.
Lanes. Please, Mr. Carter,
Chris
we're
Lane
sorry.
and April
Just
Monkey.
take us
Thank
to
you,
school.
guys.
We tore through a Walmart parking lot, cutting between cars. Then he sped
Oh,
onto
nah.
some back road with trees on both sides.
Where's the bus driver going, bro? Never to laugh. Let's go, Lisa. Lisa with the laughing disco. Shout out to Dino sub. Shout out to Just Vikings with the sub. Lisa with the laughing disco. Thank you, Lisa.
And no houses anywhere. Police lights appeared behind us. Instead of pulling over, he went even faster. A boy in the back screamed, "Yo, he's running from the cops." The intercom clicked on. "Jenna, call 911 right now." Jenna was crying. "What? The cops are literally right behind us."
Oh, hell
He
no.
punched the steering wheel. "Just do it. Tell them we're on the back road behind the Walmart,
Or
and
the
there is a
gold
black
coin.
Ford Explorer trying."
Shamika. They were to stay hydrated. Chris Lane. Chris Lane. They were to flower one beautiful mama. Chris Lane with the stay hydrated. Thank you so much, Chris Lane. Chris Lane, bro. You're the GOAT. Chris Lane. Bro, thank you.
to pull us over. Jenna
Thank you so much for the stay
dialed
hydrated
with
gift.
shaking hands and told the dispatcher exactly what Mr. Carter had told him to. Then he asked. They said that isn't a real cop and not to pull over. The real police are almost here. A minute later, we watched through the back window as real police cars boxed the Explorer in.
They were the jamming gift, Lisa. Lisa with the jamming gift. Thank you, Lisa. They were the hiding gift, one beautiful mama. Lisa, though.
Forced it to pull over. Mr. Carter pulled
Thank
over
you,
and
Lisa.
sat there with both hands still on the wheel and his whole body shaking.
Lock
Then he
in.
turned to face all of us. We got a notice this morning about a fake cop near the schools, and when I saw that Explorer following us, I knew something was off. A tear rolled down his cheek. "I'm sorry I scared you. You're all my kids." It was the first time any of us had ever seen him cry. It was the last week.
Damn.
Me and my roommate arrived home to an eviction notice on our apartment door. I
with a
immediately tore
floating
it
heart,
down
Gustavo.
and we read it. "Last 3 months rent not paid. You have a week to move out." I started panicking because we were
Shout out to
screwed, but that's when
Zay
Theo
Bo
nudged me. "Dude, what is that on the
You're
back?"
gonna
I
sub.
flipped it over and found an advertisement for a game show. Or,
What gift do you want? How many jewels do you have?
"You can defeat the world's deadliest obstacle with a friend tonight and win the ownership rights of any building in the city." It was hosted by our landlord.
Six,
I was already
seven.
scanning the QR code to sign up.
Oh my god. Ugh. They were the Sparkles Gustavo. Nah, that's actually crazy though. How Extra Speed's dad was on my stream yesterday, chat.
We don't have a choice. We gotta do it. That night, we both showed up, and the first thing we saw was our landlord in a gold glittery suit, holding a microphone and screaming
What
to
the
the
hell?
audience of over 5,000 people. Without further ado, let's
You
get
play gorilla tag? Yeah, but it's kind of boring now. I don't like it.
started, everyone. We excitedly sprinted towards
It's corporate greed, bro.
the elevator that
I can't play gorilla tag. It's corporate greed.
carried us up all the way to 5,000 feet in the air. I started sweating like crazy. Is this even legal? Theo shrugged. Better than being homeless. We walked out and saw a bunch of other brokies our
What the hell?
age,
Is
all
this a Mr. Beast
waving
challenge,
to us
bro?
like they understood why we were there. Vance tapped
What?
his microphone. All right, you all have 3 minutes to make it across the
Yo, what's
platform
up, the VR guy?
without falling down into the pool of water below. I grabbed Theo's hand. We got this, bro. We're gonna be rich. We sprinted across the spinning cylinders, already out of
What the hell?
breath, and I wondered
Did you stop vaping? You're asking me, bro? What the hell, bro? No, but yeah, no, don't do that. Just drink soda, bro.
if this would all be worth it.
Or no, drink water.
When we got to the other side, I collapsed from exhaustion, but Theo instantly pulled me back up. Dude, look, we're the last ones standing. I stood up and couldn't believe how easy it was, until all the lights turned red. Congratulations to Theo and Ross. Now there's only one obstacle left. Me and Theo looked at each other completely confused, because this wasn't part of the deal. Suddenly, a red button emerged.
Okay, guys, don't spam W's. Chill, chill, chill.
In the middle of the obstacle. Vance smiled. The first one to press it gets ownership of the building, and an
Is
additional
this like Squid Game chat? Oh, hell no.
$400,000 bonus.
This
The
is
other gets
actually
nothing.
Squid
A
Game.
clock lit up that counted down from 60 seconds. Me and Theo locked eyes. Dude, you should take it and put your brother in private school. It's not fair that he has to spend his childhood being bullied. I shook my head. No, I know your mom's been struggling.
Whoa, now everybody's spamming W. Alright. Bro, nobody sent a gift. If somebody sent like $500, then you could all spam W's like that, but nobody did. They were the gold coin, Lisa.
Since the cancer
Yo.
diagnosis. Press it and use the money to pay for her treatment. Neither
Oh
of us
my
moved.
God.
Buzz. Time ran
Holy.
out. You both lose.
Chill,
Vance said.
guys.
Get them off my
Holy,
stage.
bro.
We both got in the elevator, finally getting ready to accept our homelessness.
star.
But when we walked out, every single person in the audience was chanting our names and booing Vance. He sweated nervously. Guys, I'm just following the rules of the game. But the audience kept screaming and holding up signs. Pay them both or we're not coming back. No crowd, no show. Theo raised his fist over his mouth and laughed. Dude, they're on our side. I was too amazed to respond, and Vance had no choice. He signed his own building over and
That's a
handed us
Noah.
both a duffel bag filled with
Yo,
$400,000
oh my God.
each, jaw clenched. I reached into my pocket and pulled out the same eviction notice we'd torn
Guys,
off our
if
door.
you
It's our
subscribe, I'll give you a shout out. Let's hit 134,500 subs, maybe.
building now. You've got a week to move out.
That's a
Me and my
hand.
roommate arrived. My big brother Patrick showed me his VR headset and said, "Do you want to prank Grandpa?" I instantly
Hell
nodded
no.
because I wanted to play with my older brother. But when Grandpa
Shout
walked
to
into
Rule.
the room,
Shout
Patrick
to
placed the
Booga
headset
Time.
on his
Shout to
head and
Smokey
laughed. Check
Official.
this out, Grandpa. It's
to
modern
RJ
technology. He turned it
Fame on
on,
top.
and Grandpa immediately started screaming and dropped to the ground,
Shout to
shouting,
Gorilla
"Please make it stop."
517.
I got a bad feeling and asked
We already
Patrick.
watched this, bro.
My 10-year-old daughter walked into the restaurant on Father's Day and bought us a meal she'd saved up for over 2 months. But when we
Sub
sat
Arab.
down to eat outside, a teenage jerk walking by
Oh,
reached
nah.
his hands into her fries and grabbed a handful of them
Oh my gosh. I mean, if you're hungry, bro. Nah, I'm joking.
before walking off. My daughter
Cannot do
instantly
that.
started crying, and when I looked over, I saw the jerk walking away with his phone out, laughing and recording everything. I immediately stormed
Shout out to
over to him
Katie.
and told him how disgusting what he
Clip
just
that
did
chat.
was. He
Oh,
shoved
hell
his
no.
phone right in my face and started laughing. Oh my God, he's so mad. Clip this chat. I said this wasn't funny,
Clip that
but he
chat.
just looked at his
Get
screen
out,
and
bro. Shout out to
interacted
little
with the
Timmy.
chat. He turned to leave, but I reached my hand out and snatched the jerk's phone and put it in my pocket. He immediately said, "Give that back right now."
That's a
But I crossed
Larva Boreas. Yeah, I remember you, Ash. Don't spam, though. Don't spam.
my arms and replied,
Good night, the goat.
"You're only getting it back after you
This live
apologize
is
to my
making me
daughter and
hungry.
pay for a new meal
It
for
is
us."
making me
His face
hungry
went
too,
red,
bro.
and he
This
started
short, bro.
getting aggressive, even pushing me hard enough to stumble. My daughter appeared and told him, "Don't hit my dad." But
Oh,
he
hell
yelled at her,
nah. Who's she?
"I'll do whatever I want," and pushed me again. I wanted to do something back, but I knew I couldn't hit a teenager. But suddenly a police officer
That's a
walking by
Lisa.
stopped and asked what's happening. The jerk immediately pointed his finger and said, "He stole my phone." The officer asked
Shout
if that
to
was true,
Meme.
and I said yes, then explained everything that happened. The officer looked at the jerk. "Did you steal their food and record it?" He shook his head and swore he didn't. But when
Yes,
the
he did.
officer took the jerk's phone from my pocket, the footage on the live
The hell,
stream was
bro?
right there, showing the kid taking
You're
my
eating
daughter's
carrot
my-
cake?
my
I'm gonna be honest. Is carrot cake good? good. Yeah, skip the short.
But when the officer took the jerk's phone from my
That's a
pocket,
D
the footage
official
on the
cherry.
live stream was right there, showing the kid taking my daughter's food and walking away laughing. The jerk went pale,
Oh,
and the
nah.
officer
That's
immediately
crazy,
ordered
bro.
him to go back and pay for a
That's
new
a
meal for us
AKA.
right now. He walked to the counter, and when I looked over, the officer was holding the jerk's phone, live streaming him paying. After our food was
hell
ready,
nah.
the officer slipped the phone
Whoa,
into
whoa, whoa! Restart that shit.
him paying. After our
Restart
food
that,
was
bro.
ready, the
Is that
holding the
what
jerk's
the hell? Hold
phone,
up.
live streaming him paying.
Wait.
After
Right
our
there. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? What the hell is that? What the hell is that burger bun? What the hell, bro? What kind of burger is that supposed to be, chat? What? No.
food was
Look
ready,
at that. That is not.
the officer slipped the phone
You
in.
cannot eat that.
to his
That's a
pocket.
rule. Guys, if you subscribe, I'll give you a shout out. Shout out to Kid
I'm
Plays.
confiscating this as evidence. The jerk's face went red with anger.
That's a burnt bun. That is just pure black. It's called the Shadow Burger. What the hell is that?
But he couldn't
You forgot to comment on the vid? I will, bro. I will. Trust. The racist burger? Whoa. That's a Hanukkah. Can't say that.
do a thing. And when he looked over, my daughter was
Shout out
at
to Country Club. Shout out to Carter.
the exact same
Thank you,
table,
guys. They were
smirking
the
right
star.
at him, while slowly eating the extra large portion of fries he'd just paid for. My
W. Imagine it was poison. Ah, hell nah. Shout out to the Rookie for Life. Shout out to 80.
a student
They were the Sunday April Monkey. W April
made
Monkey.
a girl cry in my
Thank you,
class,
April
but it
Monkey.
was so funny, I let him
What the hell?
get away with it. As
Shout out to
soon
Jackson.
as she walked into
Red.
my class that year, I immediately knew she was gonna be my problem student. She'd constantly watch TikTok in
Shout
class
out to
and
Jen.
bully others. And when I took her phone, she lied to
You
the
were the
principal
star,
that I
Mario.
assaulted her. We had a group project, and the entire class, she was bullying a shy kid, calling him a chopped
You were the
loser,
hiding
but she
gift,
had no
Adi.
idea what was coming. I walked up to her and told her to stop.
Shout out
but as
to
soon as
Noah. Shout out to CK Carson.
I did, she threatened to call her mom and
Oh,
tell her
hell
I
nah.
touched her
Bro, what?
inappropriately. She said, "It's not my fault he's such a loser. Nobody likes him for a
Thank you for the live. Let's go, Kiru. W Kiryu in the chat. Thank you, Kiryu, for the live. Let's go. W Kiryu, bro. That's the Floyd Porter. W Kiryu with the laughing disco. Thank you so much, bro. You're the GOAT.
reason." All
W.
of the students around her started laughing at him, and I could see his eyes start watering. I knew it was enough. I snapped at her,
You were
saying,
the hiding
"Hey,
gift,
you need to
Irma.
shut your mouth.
Irma.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's your boss one day." She stood up, ready to call her mom and get me fired. When the shy kid finally
Imagine he is, bro.
spoke, he cut in between us
We're
and
hiding
said,
gift,
"No thanks.
Miranda.
I don't want to be a pimp when I grow up." A student made a girl cry
Shout
in
out
my
to
class.
Noah.
My brother-in-law spit my brisket out onto his plate at the family cookout.
Oh,
"This
nah.
tastes like trash." He pushed back and waved at the grill. "That's why I'm always on the grill, because nobody comes close." I squeezed
Oh, hell nah. What the hell is that drink? It doesn't even have a brand on it. They were the party hat, Miranda. Thank you for the GOAT trophy. Amanda. W Amanda with the GOAT trophy. You're the hiding gift, Miranda. W. Amanda with the GOAT trophy. My God. Damn. W Amanda, thank you so much for the $10 gift. Thank you for the GOAT trophy. W Amanda in the chat. They were the hiding gift Lumos Knox. They were the hiding gift 80. They were the happy poop Scarlet. W's in the chat, bro. Thank you so much for the GOAT trophy. W. Thank you, Amanda. You're the best, bro. Thank you, Amanda.
my beer can until it dented. If you've got so much to say,
W.
let your cooking back up your words. Barbecue
you
off
so
this
much.
weekend. My backyard. Let the family judge. He stood up and
Shout out
pointed
to
at me.
Danielle.
"You're on. Winner cooks every family event all year. The loser shows up empty-handed." I stood up and we shook hands. Done. Saturday morning, he towed a $4,000 Yoder pellet smoker into my driveway
the hell?
and tapped the Wi-Fi probe.
W
This thing
Amanda.
texts me when my brisket
Thank
hits
you.
203. I rolled my dad's 20-year-old offset smoker
Oh my God. Thank you for the 90 happy poops. Scarlet. W Scarlet with the 90 happy poops. Damn. That's like $9. W Scarlet. Thank you so much, Scarlet. W Scarlet. You have to leave. My phone's overheating. All right, see ya, bro. W Scarlet, though. Thank you so much, Scarlet. You're the GOAT. They were the flower Bonnie GT. They were the happy poop Lisa. W.
out and lit the firebox with hickory I'd split the night before.
Shout out to
He
Hell
sealed his
Divers
brisket
kid.
in a bag and dropped it into hot water for sous vide. Meanwhile, my pork had been on the offset for 6 hours. He walked the family through his precision temperature curve, pulled the brisket at 135 and seared it on the
W.
yogurt.
W
He
Scarlet,
plated pencil-thin
though.
slices
W
on a
Bonnie.
slate board with microgreens and bone
Shout
marrow
out to
butter,
Ethan.
then gestured at me. Your turn, champ. I pulled the shoulder off the offset, let it rest, and shredded it onto butcher
Bro's a pro.
paper with my hands. No plates, just pork with bark so
That's
dark
it. It's your favorite
it
couple.
looked burned. His wife went first, took a bite of his brisket, and nodded politely. Then she pulled a piece off my pot.
They were the gold coin mystery animations. I'm gonna be honest, they were the hiding gift. Life with Scarlet, baby. They were the laughing disco. Lumos Knox. W Lumos Knox. Thank you, Lumos Knox. W Lumos Knox. Thank you so much for the laughing disco. But chat, I'm gonna be honest. If you try hard enough, you could be the best cooker in the world. Better than Gordon Ramsay. If you replicate the exact moves, like it's not that hard. Well, it is, but they were the laughing disco. CeeLo. W Silo or CeeLo, bro. Thank you, Silo, for the laughing disco. They were the gold coin mystery animations. And I same, bro. Very unique name. W Silo. They were the jamming gift. Mallory. W Mallory and Silo. Thank you both. W's.
And her eyes closed.
W Silo
She
and
squeezed
Mallory.
his shoulder. Sweetheart, I'm so sorry. The family voted
Thank
5
you,
for me,
guys.
0 for him. He dropped onto the cooler, head down. Now every
W.
Saturday he shows up empty-handed.
We're
and I
letting
hand
him
him a
Darylin.
plate. My brother-in-law spit my brisket.
But that was the end of the short. I don't know why you guys keep saying watch the short.
My deaf 13-year-old brother Rich
Oh my gosh. That guy looks huge. Holy. That is not a
Shook me
13-year-old. They were the hiding gift.
wake
Lame
at 2
plays.
a.m. and pointed out my window to the woods behind our house. I signed what's wrong, and he signed back so fast and so frantic I couldn't understand him. I knew something was really wrong when he grabbed my wrist
They were
and
the
just
Star
dragged
Mallory.
me out. He shined his
Thank you, Bree Halo Man.
flashlight into the
Thank you,
trees,
brother.
and I saw a man at the base of an oak tree, tied up with a rope, bleeding from his head, gagged with tape.
Shout
His
to
eyes
Eric.
were pleading me to help. I
Oh,
told Rich
nah. Shout out to Abby. They were the hiding gift. Flame plays.
we need to help him, and started walking towards him. But when I looked back, Rich was already in the house, frantically signing something to Mom. I reached the man and started undoing his knots, and suddenly he
How are
grabbed
you?
my
I'm
hand
doing
with
good.
his now one free arm. He gripped really tight and looked me in the eyes, signaling to untie his legs. I started trying to unhook the knots when I felt Rich's
You
hand
wanna ask me something? Go ahead, bro.
behind me. He dragged
That's a Donnie. They were the hiding gift. Eduardo. They were the hiding gift. Mallory. They were the GG Easy Carry.
me away from the man and instantly started
Tyler.
tying him up
Like-
again. I screamed, "What are you doing? He needs our help," and tried to stop
Without
him.
a
But
gift,
our mom
Lumos
suddenly
Knox,
grabbed me too. She
Kiru,
dragged me back
and
into
Dylan.
the house while Rich finished tying the man up
Did he ask your crush out? I mean, it's up to you. Yeah.
again
I don't
and
know.
followed in. Mom got on the
Shout out
phone
to
with
Kill-
someone,
Chill
and
Kid.
finally Rich started signing at a
Go
speed
ahead,
I
bro.
could understand.
Risk your wrist.
This man outside had been showing up
Give
at
me the
Rich's
GG
bus
Easy
stop for
Kiryu.
3 weeks trying to
You're
coax
hiding
him into
gift.
a van.
Flame
So
plays.
tonight, Rich pretended to go along with it, lured him into our backyard, and hit him over the head with a brick.
Oh, nah.
He knew nobody would believe a deaf kid about a stranger
a
at the
real
bus stop, so he
Ivor.
brought the evidence himself. My deaf 13-year-old brother.
What?
A man walked in with his son while I
Shout
was
out to
working the
Lamine.
counter at the movie
Jamal,
theater,
love
and the
her.
kid instantly
Thank you, bro. They were the hiding gift. Lumos.
started pointing at everything behind the glass.
We already watched
My
that.
new landlord stormed in. "Throw out the mutt or get evicted.
You're the
You
gold
can't have
coin
both."
puddles.
I pointed at Mufasa's vest. "He's a medical alert dog. I have epilepsy, and he paws my leg 30
Shout out
minutes
to the
before
cool
a seizure
gang.
hits. I've lived here for more than
Shout out to
20
Yuji.
years, ever since I was 5. I can't afford anywhere else. Since I'm the landlord, I set the rules. If you wanted to set them, you should have bought the building like I did. You have 30 days to get him out,
Oh,
or you
nah.
both are leaving."
That's actually messed up.
I nodded, but I wasn't giving him up or
We're
leaving.
hiding it
The next
puddles,
day, I
yeah.
brought medical records, but he didn't look up from his phone and shooed me away. When I offered to pay extra, he finally looked up and laughed. "Boy, I have money. Why would I take more of yours?" So I walked out, and a couple days later, I brought a signed letter from every neighbor in the
Shout out
building.
to Leah Vang.
But he didn't even open it, just slid it back across the desk. There were 3 days left before eviction. I sat
What's
at
up,
my
Zion?
kitchen
What's
table
up,
defeated
Shadow?
with the form and wrote, "I choose to keep my dog." But that's when
W. You gotta keep the dog. They were the $2
Hi, I'm
Sahori.
back. There's like a literary e-girl.
What the
Oh.
hell? What the hell, bro? They were the 2, bro. W Sahori with the 2. Thank you. But chat, the IRL stream might be tomorrow or Thursday. Probably Thursday. They were the laughing disco Kitty Lover. W Kitty Lover. And Sahori. Thank you, Kitty Lover, for the laughing disco, though, bro. With the GG puddles, yeah. That's Senshi. W Kitty Lover. And W Sahori with the 2, bro. Thank you both. W's.
Mufasa
Thank
started
you.
scratching at the door, whining at the
W's.
ceiling, then yanking at my sleeve hard enough
were
to
the hiding
rip it.
gift,
He wasn't
random
pawing my
videos.
leg, so it wasn't a seizure. Mufasa, what's wrong? He dragged me upstairs to an apartment with the door open, where an
Hold up, chat. Alright. We're gonna watch a few more shorts, chat, and then I gotta go, alright?
old man was lying across
W Kitty Lover Pirate with the laughing disco, bro. Thank you. You're floating
the
hard.
kitchen floor. I dropped to my knees beside him. Sir? Sir? Nothing. I called 911
nah.
and checked his
What the
pulse the
hell?
way I'd learned to check my own. The paramedics burst
Bro,
in
good.
6 minutes later. One of them turned
Shout out
to
to
me. Another
Christine.
half hour and he would have died. They carried him out to the ambulance, and I rode with him to the hospital and waited next to his bed. An hour later, the landlord burst in. Where is he? Where's my dad? The man I just
were the
helped
W
save
random
was his
videos,
father.
I
He
don't know.
froze when he saw me with Mufasa, and that's when his dad opened his eyes. That dog saved my life.
They were the laughing disco Kitty Lover Pirate. W Kitty Lover Pirate with the laughing disco. Thank you, Kitty Lover Pirate. W Kitty Lover. You're the W Puddles, yeah.
The landlord dropped into the chair, head in his hands. My dad's been having
You
heart
were the
attacks
laughing
for
disco
months.
Kitty Lover. W Kitty Lover. Thank you, Kitty Lover, for the laughing discos. W Kitty Lover, bro. Thank you so much.
I banned
W Kitty Lover in the chat.
pets because I thought one would set him off. The thing I tried to throw out is the only reason he's still here. The dog stays. You stay
They were the 6'7"
as long as you
slave
want.
queens.
My new landlord just spent 30 days trying to evict the only thing in this building that saved his dad. My new landlord stormed in. Throw out the
W. They were the Sunday Darylyn. W Darylyn with the Sunday. When am I going to be on tomorrow? Probably at the same time that I went live today. That's to Ari Austin. They were the hiding gift puddles. W Darylyn with the Sunday.
I picked my daughter up from school and heard her stomach growling so loud that it scared me. Why are you so hungry? Did you use the lunch money I gave you? She shook her head no and started crying. Our whole class has been saving our lunch money for our teacher to buy a new house.
Oh, we watched that.
Every day for 2 years, the homeless man stood
We
on
watched
my street
that, bro.
I unpaused Billie Jean and the song started blasting.
We watched
I was riding
that.
the elevator up to my apartment when
we
it
didn't
jolted
watch
and
this.
stopped between the 6th and 7th floor.
They were
The
the
elevator
Ws.
cables groaned.
6, 7. W Puddles, yum, with the W. Or whatever.
My heart stopped because I'm a mechanic and knew that sound. One wrong move and the cables would snap and we'd drop all the way down. I reached for my phone to call for help, but my phone was dead. But
Shout
I
out to
wasn't alone.
DTI
A kid was
official
next to me.
gamer.
He grabbed his phone and immediately pulled it up, smiling. Chat, I'm stuck in an elevator. Tune in and drop a
What
galaxy.
the hell, bro? Yo, drop a galaxy, bro.
He
Oh,
was
hell no.
live on TikTok. Kid, don't
We're the
move.
hiding
This
gift.
thing could fall and
COVR and MS Lab.
kill us. But he wasn't listening to me. He was reading his comment.
Guys, drop a laughing dice go, bro. Shout out to Thunderbolt. Drop a laughing dice go right now, bro.
The comments
If you want.
were going crazy. You
We're the
won't
hiding gift,
jump.
James.
Jump and I'll send a galaxy. The kid smiled ear to ear. I won't jump. Bet. I screamed. No, don't. But before I could grab him, he jumped and the whole
Oh, hell
elevator
nah.
dropped a foot.
Bro, the
with a
whole
vibe.
elevator is gonna fall. They were the hiding gift. Rayra Meras. Yo! Thank you for the laughing discos. You don't even know how to say laughing disco either. No, I do, bro. I was just joking. WCOVR and Roxasaurus Rex with the laughing discos. Nice name, Roxasaurus. And nice name, COVR. WCOVR and Roxasaurus with the laughing discos. Thank you both. And thank you for the Uncler, Geofree. WGeofari in the chat. Thank you, Geofari, for the Uncler. And thank you for the laughing disco, COVR. WCOVR, Geofari. And, Seal and Roxasaurus Rex. Thank you all. WGeofari with the Uncler, Seal, and Roxasaurus
Silent
Rex.
screech.
Thank you, guys.
We both slammed against the wall. His live was gaining more viewers. I knew I had to do
W.
something, and my years as a mechanic
We were
kicked
6'7"
in. We
Nelly.
were stuck between floors, so I pried
You
the
were the
doors
hiding
open
gifts.
to climb down to the floor below. But the second I leaned into the gap, the car slipped lower and a cable snapped above us. Now just a few
Oh, nah. They might be cooked, chat. A few more cables so the whole elevator falls. They were the Uncler. Sassy Chad. Nice name, bro. W Sassy Chad with the Uncler. Spam W's in the chat for Sassy Chad. Thank you, bro. W Sassy Chad. They were the star, Rocksource. Sassy Chad. Thank you, bro.
Cables left. The
W.
kid pointed his phone at me.
Thank you,
laughing.
bro. You're the
Chat,
goat.
This unk is trying to kill us. The comments
Oh,
flooded
nah.
in, calling me a loser. Then the kid trying to impress them, jumped up and grabbed the ceiling hatch. Guys, watch this. He was trying to climb it,
The
but
hell's
as he
bro
pulled
doing?
himself up, the elevator dropped again. We were hanging
Oh, he's cooked. He's
by a
cooked.
thread now, seconds from falling.
If I was that streamer, bro, I would just be chill. I would be like Asher Speed, bro, just chill. Shout out to Ari Austin. I would not do that shit. Not do that, bro.
I was convinced my death was going to be recorded on this random kid's live.
They were
I
hiding
grabbed the
in
kid and braced
Roxasaurus.
for the fall. Then out of nowhere, banging above us. Fire department, hold on. They pulled us up through the hatch just as the last
W.
cable snapped and the elevator crashed
Oh my
to the
god.
bottom. I was on the verge of
They almost died.
tears. How did you know we were stuck? The firefighter
Bro, I would get super mad at the kid. Shout out to Zachary.
pointed at the kid's phone. One of his viewers saw the live, recognized the building and called us. You'd be dead if he wasn't streaming. I turned to the kid,
Oh, so bro saved him. Oh, shout out to Sunset VR. Shout out to Luke Isaac.
expecting him to be
Or
shaken
Isaac.
that he almost
W Luke Isaac.
died, but instead he
Shout out
said,
to Zane.
"Chat, if you want more content, send a galaxy." I was riding
Oh,
the
hell
elevator
nah.
up to. I just won my 5th bear from the arcade's claw machine when Mr. Chang came stomping over and yanked it out of my arms.
the
5
hell?
bear 1 month. Nobody win 5 bear. You cheat. He grabbed my
bro?
arm, dragged me to the door, and threw me onto the sidewalk.
What the?
He wanted a cheater, so I figured I'd give him one. I went home and ordered a bunch of plastic tokens off Amazon the exact size of a quarter. Monday, I walked in wearing my sister's Halloween wig and one
What the hell, bro?
of her dresses. Chang paced behind me through Street Fighter, then leaned over my shoulder and patted my head. You play very good for lil girl, but fighting game not for girl.
Oh, hell nah.
You go play with doll, okay, sweetie? I
Oh, hell nah, bro. Who's Mr. Chang?
smiled,
hell nah,
walked
bro.
over to Pac-Man, dropped a token, took the top score, and punched in CHA. Pac-Man had a top 10 leaderboard, 3 letters per slot.
Dang, bro got first place.
I took number 1 that
Damn.
first run and planned to claim the next open slot every win.
Okay, what the hell, bro?
Until the message finished. Chang spun and screamed at a kid 2 cabinets over. You touch game too hard. You break. Out. I claimed
Bro, what the hell? What the hell?
the next
That's
slot
crazy,
and punched
bro.
in NGS while he dragged the kid out. Wednesday, I came back in
Nah.
a full Spider-Man suit. Chang grabbed
What the
his
hell?
wife by the arm and pointed at me from behind the counter. Look, honey, Lil Spidey-Man come to play. He shoot web from hand. Pew pew. I won Pac-Man and punched in UKS. Then Chang came around the counter and started walking toward me. My mask was riding up. Instead of bolting, I claimed the next slot and punched in BIG with Chang breathing down my neck. He
Oh,
stopped.
nah. Mr. Chang. They were the 6'7" seal.
Tilted his head and walked back to the counter. Friday, I
Mr. Chang ain't playing, bro.
borrowed the giant bear costume from my school's mascot bin and waddled right
What
past
the
him.
hell?
He held the door open for me and muttered,
Why is bro just changing
Lil Bear, come
skins,
say hi.
bro?
I walked straight to the claw machine
Bro's just changing his Fortnite skins. Ah, hell no.
and won another bear on my first try.
What the hell? Guys, feel free to send gifts like laughing
Chang
discus.
clapped and dropped it back for the next kid. Then I stepped over to Pac-Man and punched in
And
BAL.
subscribe if you want a
Saturday,
shout
I
out.
walked in
Give her
with
the
a
gold coin CLVR. Subscribe if you want a shout out, chat. Say I subbed in the chat because I'm probably gonna end the stream in about like 5 more minutes.
fake mustache and went straight for Pac-Man. A little girl was crying at the claw machine next to me. The claw stuck on a stuffed dog. Chang walked over and
Give her the
pried
laugh disco sassy Chad. W sassy Chad. Shout out to Verity VR. W sassy Chad with the laughing disco. Give her the gold coin CLVR. VCLVR and Sassy Chad with the laughing disco. Thank you, bro. You're the GOAT.
open the change machine.
Shout out to Nitro Plays. Shout out to Rex is the GOAT. Shout out to Verity VR. Shout out to Stickman.
To refund her and outpoured a mountain of
Shout out
plastic
to Ash.
tokens and 5 quarters. He looked up. I
Guys, how many likes are we at? Shout out to Niaski. They were hiding it for a.
was 3 feet away at Pac-Man,
to
dropping a
baboons.
token. My mustache slid off my face and hit the floor. His face shifted as he pointed at me. You
Shout out to
and
Zion.
you, ban! I
What
punched
the
in
hell? Shout out to Triple.
the last entry, and as he grabbed for me, I
Guys,
screamed,
keep liking
"Wait!"
up
and pointed
the
at the
stream. Like up the stream too. Double tap your screen. They were hiding it.
leaderboard. I also left you a gift. He sounded out the top 6. CHA, NGS, UKS, BIG, BAL, SSS. Smoke was fuming out of his ears when he
What?
realized it said, Chang sucks big balls. I grabbed the bear and bolted.
Whoa.
He scooped the tokens into his arms
Oh,
and
hell
came
no.
barreling after me, screaming, I catch you! You cheat! Me no suck bal! I spun halfway
What?
down the sidewalk and chucked the bear at his face. He stumbled, hit a spilled
Oh,
token,
nah.
and face planted into a pile of fresh
He's
dog
cooked.
poop right where he'd thrown me a
Ugh.
week earlier. I just won my 5th bear from the arcade's claw machine.
The
when
hell,
Mr.
bro?
I was eating hot dogs at the fire station, enjoying the first calm day in months.
Actually, kind of sus.
When we got a call from a woman
Shout out to
panicking.
Animal Lover.
There's a massive
Shout out to
fire
Jenny.
with children in danger. Please come now. I instantly dropped my food, and me and my crew drove over, ready to risk our lives. But when we pulled in, we saw 4 teenagers grilling a small barbecue in their yard. I thought we'd gotten
Nice.
pranked at first, but then a middle-aged woman frantically ran over. That's them. They're gonna burn my house down and kill everyone.
nah.
Spray play them. I looked at the boys calmly flipping their hot dogs.
Guys, I'm gonna end stream in like 2 more minutes or 3.
Ma'am, called the fire brigade for a barbecue.
You
We
were
can
the
press
100,
charges for
Bradley.
wasting our
They were
time.
the chili
I started
burps,
climbing
Ego.
back into my truck, but she physically grabbed my hand and pointed at the smoke rising from the grill. Those kids are like 9. They can't be around fire. I sighed and slowly walked over. How old are you guys? We're 18. Me and my dad go camping every month. I turned around to the Karen. I can't stop legal-aged adults from having a barbecue, ma'am. Plus, their hot dogs look perfectly grilled.
They were to
But this
start
time, Karen didn't say a
Ego.
word. She sprinted to our truck and ripped the water hose off the side. She aimed it at the barbecue, and my stomach instantly dropped. 2 trained
You're the gold
firefighters
coin,
could barely
Alexander.
control this hose. Me and my crew
Shout out to Davey, man. Don't do it then, Eddie. You might be cooked, bro.
ran to stop her, but she was
Let me
already
do it.
smashing the
No.
trigger. But no water was coming out because the water valve hadn't been twisted. Why isn't this stupid thing working?
Oh,
She kept
nah.
pressing. We were inches away from her.
That's a SNM. You were the gold coin,
When
Perps.
suddenly I got an idea. No! I quickly stopped my crew and whispered to let her continue. Everyone looked confused until I pointed at her looking straight into the nozzle. This fire department is too cheap to even get a working hose.
You were the
I'm
gold
reporting
coin,
this, she
Alexander.
yelled while the kids laughed at her. That's when I snuck around the truck and twisted the valve right as she pressed the trigger. 20 gallons of water
Oh my god.
instantly shot at her face, hitting her at
You were the
50
gold
miles per
coins,
hour.
Alexander.
The force sent her flying back as she hit the ground, and I instantly closed the valve, laughing my off so hard I dropped
Laughing my ass. Oh, so hard, bro.
to the floor. She lay there,
crazy,
still
bro.
delirious about what planet she was on, looking just as soaked as she was stupid.
You were the
I
gold
slowly
coin,
got back in the
Alexander.
truck, still laughing, and that's when the teenagers
Oh, hell
ran over
no.
with a plate of hot dogs. Thanks for dealing with her. I was eating hot
W. You were the gold coin, Alexander.
dogs at the fire.
Shout out to
when
Slurpee crew.
my best friend ran
Guys, I'm probably gonna end stream in like a few more minutes, so if you subscribe, I'll give you a shout out. Come on.
up to me after school and told me he got
Bro.
invited to a party. I was instantly nervous. In North
You were the
Korea,
100.
if you were caught doing anything illegal,
We
you'd
already
never-
watched that.
I was sweeping my garage when my neighbor stormed in and
That's a
screamed,
lie, Nate.
"Murderer!" Mr. Gray's cat Mittens had been missing for 3 days, and I'd seen him putting
That's
up
a go
wanted
frog.
posters to find me because I was never home. Now he found me. He pointed at a
That's a
tuft
job
of gray and white
jick,
fur.
or
Evidence.
bob
I
jick.
pulled it out and held it up. That's from a winter coat. That's exactly what a
You were the
murderer would
stars.
say. He spotted the metal cage I'd set near the wall for the raccoon
That's
that
a
kept raiding my
Jackson.
trash. He pulled a single gray
That's a little Ja. What's up, Index?
hair off the
Shout
wire
out to
and held it up like he was in a
Danielle.
courtroom. Mrs. Walden poked
Shout
her
out
head
to
through
Mr.
the garage
Murph.
door. Is everything all right? Gray waved the cage at her. He murdered Mittens. Mrs. Walden looked at me and gasped. You monster! More neighbors drifted up
Shout
the
out to
driveway
Pepsi Man. Shout out to
behind
Barbara.
her. Gray pointed at the garbage bags in my truck.
Shout out
He's
to
dispo-
Eli Goat. They were live. Let's go Samurai VR GT. W Samurai VR GT, bro. Thank you for the laughing disco. W Samurai VR GT, bro. W Samurai. Let's go, bro. Thank you, Samurai, for the laughing disco. W
Disposing
Samurai.
of the body. I threw my hands
Thank
up.
you, bro.
It's old paint cans and
out
Christmas
to
lights.
Zayden.
Exactly what someone
Shout out
guilty
to
would
Jay.
say. I slammed my broom on the floor. Fine.
You were the
Searched
happy
the whole
poop, Nelly.
garage. They pulled out
Shout out to
boxes and
Copper.
flipped open bins while Gray supervised with
You're
his
welcome,
arms
twin.
crossed.
Yeah,
Someone
thank you,
held
bro.
up a crumpled tarp and asked if it was cat related. A meow cut through the garage.
That's a
Everyone
Shannon.
froze. Gray looked at me like he'd caught his
Shout out to
confession.
Michelle.
I pulled the door open and a squirrel shot off the shelf, landed on my shoulder, and launched itself into the crowd. Mrs. Walden screamed.
Oh,
and
hell nah. What is the scroll doing, bro? Thank you for the mic drop. Lake. W Lake Aisha. Thank you, Lake Aisha, for the mic drop. W Lake Aisha. Thank you so much for the mic drop. W Lake Aisha in the chat. Spam in the chat. W's for Lake Aisha. Thank you so much. Yeah, I remember you, Cat Stance. W Lake Aisha. Thank you so much. W's. Thank you.
grabbed onto Gray. Half the driveway
W.
scattered. Mrs.
And thank you guys for 100k views. W Lake Aisha, though. Thank you so much.
Walden was still holding onto Gray's arm when we heard another meow. This one came from outside. Mittens was stretched across the hood of Gray's own car, yawning. I looked at Gray. That's exactly
You were
what a
the Sparkles
kidnapper's car would
Jackson.
look like. I was sweeping my garage.
W
when my
100k views and W Lake Aisha, though.
Dad, can you
That's
please
the Arios.
buy me the costume? My son begged me for the 10th time.
already watched
I found
that.
out why the McDonald's ice cream machine is always broken, and it got me fired. My first week there, I kept having to tell customers it was broken. Their faces would drop every single time, especially the kids who just wanted a cone after their happy meal. It had been
Dang.
Been broken for
That's
2
an
months
ace,
according to
K.
my coworkers who just shrugged and said that's how it always was. I used to fix equipment at my uncle's restaurant all the time. Fryers, drink machines, even refrigeration
W.
units. So
That's
when
an
it was
Eric
slow
Key.
on a Tuesday afternoon, I decided to take a look. The manager Karen was off that day and the shift supervisor
Shout out to Paula.
told me to go for it. The machine wasn't that complicated once I got the panels off. The main issue was a clogged valve and some sensors that needed cleaning. Years of dried milk product had gunked up the works. I spent 3 hours taking it apart and cleaning everything with the approved sanitizer. My coworkers started gathering around. Kaylee, who had been there 5 years,
Oh, nah.
said she'd never seen anyone even try to fix it. Jason started taking bets on whether I'd get it working. Even customers
W McDonald's guy.
at the counter were watching like I was
McDonald's
performing
guy.
surgery. When I finally hit the power button, the machine hummed to life.
Shout out to the rookie for life. Got you, bro.
All green lights for the first time in
Guys, subscribe right now if you want a shout out before I end the stream. I'm ending it probably after this short. I don't know.
months. I ran a test batch, and out came perfect soft serve vanilla. The whole crew
W.
erupted. Word spread through the restaurant, and customers who had been turned away came back for ice cream. We sold more cones and McFlurries in 2 hours than the store usually
Thank you
sold.
for the high five, Late Gaisha. W Late Gaisha. Thank you, Late Gaisha. Shout out to Eddie. Shout out to Jake. W Late Gaisha though with the high five. Thank you so much for the high five, Late Gaisha.
In a week,
W.
kids were finally getting their desserts. Employees didn't have to deal with disappointed customers anymore. I felt like a
W.
hero. Co-workers kept
He
saying
is a
I should
hero,
get a
bro.
raise. One older lady bought an extra cone just to thank me. I went home that night proud of myself for taking initiative and solving a problem that had plagued the
They
store
were the
for
hiding
months.
of Kyler.
The next morning,
They were
Karen was
sorry,
waiting
Eric.
for me in the office. She handed me a termination notice before I could even clock in. You tampered with the ice cream machine. I tried explaining that I fixed it, and customers were happy, and we were selling.
Hold up. Guys, like up the stream and subscribe. Okay, that guy's getting timed out, yep.
Ice cream again. She pulled out
Does
a
a 2x7 max. They
manual
were the
and
hiding
cut
of
me off.
sassy
Turns
chat.
out McDonald's doesn't own those Taylor ice cream machines. They lease them with a strict contract that says only certified Taylor technicians
What? They were the hiding of physics.
can do repairs. By fixing it myself, I violated the lease agreement and potentially
Oh,
voided
nah.
the warranty. Corporate could fine the
He's cooked.
franchise owner thousands of dollars. There were liability issues if someone got sick from
He
ice
might be
cream
cooked,
made
chat.
by a
What's up,
machine repaired by
Willie?
a
Or
non-certified
Wiley?
person. It didn't matter that I'd done everything correctly and the machine was working
the W
perfectly.
like
My
Gasha.
coworkers tried to defend me. Kaylee told Karen I was just trying to help. Jason pointed
Karen,
out
bro. If the manager's name is Karen, bro, it's over. You know it's cooked. You know it's over for you if the manager's name is literally Karen, bro. Shout out to New G1. Shout out to Brittany.
how much money we'd made. Karen wouldn't budge.
Like,
Rules were
no
rules.
joke, bro.
She made me work those final 2 weeks, which was awkward for everyone. The ice cream machine kept working perfectly the whole time, which somehow made it worse. Every cone we sold reminded everyone I was getting fired for doing something helpful. On my last day, the crew
Oh, nah,
pooled
bro.
together and bought me
Shout
a
out to Bevis.
card and a gift certificate to Burger King as a joke. Except it wasn't
Karen's actually suck. Yep. Shout out to Carolyn.
really a joke because I actually applied at the Burger King down the street. During my
Yeah, I remember you. RG6. Yeah, I remember you. Just don't spam.
interview, I told the manager why I'd been let go from
What's up, your local CX rail fan? What's up?
McDonald's. He
TSX.
laughed so hard he almost fell out of his chair.
When are you ending stream? Probably after this
I
short.
got the job. Time to stop working for a clown and
Okay, sorry. It's alright. It's alright.
start
I
working
remember
for a
you.
king.
What's up?
I found out why the
Alright, that was it. We're gonna watch one more short, bro.
every day for 5
Last
years,
one.
a woman gave me a sandwich, but I never saw her face. I was homeless, living behind a strip mall, when I saw an uneaten, wrapped sandwich on the dumpster. I looked around,
Last one.
then snuck over and savored my first meal in 3 days. My stomach stopped rumbling, and I went to
You
sleep
were the
not
Flower
hungry
Lake Guy show. Last short, and then I gotta end stream. Shout out to Candace.
for the first time in months. The next evening,
Last short, and I'm ending stream. Alright, guys? Shout out to Brittany. Last short before I end stream. Shout out to Jasmine.
a woman with her back turned was leaving another sandwich on the dumpster, and this time there was a
You are cool. Thank you, bro.
note beside it. What's your favorite? I wrote it down, and the next evening, another sandwich was there, just like
Last one more short, no more, no less. Yeah, bro. One more short.
I said.
Shout out to Eddie.
that night. I found a crumpled leaf and left her my own note. Thank you, mystery sandwich woman. The next day, she left a
W.
sandwich with extra protein and
W woman.
veggies,
She's
and soon
leaving
I
food for him. Finally,
stopped
that's
losing
W.
weight because of her sandwiches. She started leaving me little notes often, stuff
W.
like she'll try Sneak 2 tomorrow,
Shout
and
out
that
to
I help her
Dennis.
just as much as she helps me. I began looking forward to these notes just as much as her sandwiches because I truly felt like we were friends, and that's something I've never experienced as a homeless person. On Christmas, I used all my money to buy a frame and put a photo of one of her sandwiches in it. I left it on the dumpster
Bro,
as a
what?
gift, and the next
Wait, you don't have to do that.
Day
Shout out
found
to
a
Fun.
wrapped box with warm gloves and socks
Guys, like up the stream and subscribe if you want to shout out.
inside. I'd still never seen her. So I put on my gloves and went in to figure out who it was. But my face was still dirty, and none of the employees even looked at me.
Give her the gold coin link I shot. You feel like the lady's bad, really?
Was crushed and walked out, but the sandwiches still kept coming, and for 5 years I stayed alive because of the mystery sandwich woman's kindness. But then one evening there was no sandwich and no note. I was disappointed, and then I saw the for sale sign
Give her
on
the
the
W, Nelly. It's Dr. Riley Tavern. What the hell, bro?
window. The shop
What?
had closed down.
Bro's just speaking gibberish now.
I started crying
When will I do another gtag stream, Legend? Probably nowhere soon. I don't know, man. Gorilla Tag isn't the same anymore.
because I thought I lost her. But the next morning, a
For the
man
hiding
came
gift,
up to me
Samir.
at the dumpster with my favorite sandwich and an envelope. He explained that his
Shout out to 2x7 Max.
daughter was the one giving me sandwiches. She died of cancer 3 months ago, but before she died, she'd asked her co-workers to keep leaving me the sandwich every night.
Bruh.
So I
That sucks.
wouldn't know anything changed.
At least bro still gets sandwiches, but that actually sucks.
She made her dad
the
promise
gold
that when the
coin,
shop
Alex?
closed for good, he'd come give me the final sandwich. I teared up and took the
That's
sandwich,
sad.
and when I opened the envelope, a check for all her savings fell out. There was also a note: I never showed you my face because I knew I was dying. I didn't want us to get close, only for you to feel the pain when I was gone. Please enjoy my last sandwich. Thank you for
W
everything,
message.
mystery sandwich
W
woman.
message.
I turned over the note, and it was a picture of her
You were
making a
Star
sandwich
Alex.
for me. I finally saw her face. I unwrapped her last sandwich and cried as I took my last first
Dang.
bite. Every day
Well, that's the last short. I'm gonna end stream now. Alright, chat. Thank you all for joining in. This was insane, amazing stream. Alright, I'm sorry that I gotta end it. I'm so sorry. They were sorry, Peanut. It's getting a bit too late. Shout out to Colt. I'm sorry. I will be live tomorrow, you guys, okay? I will be live tomorrow. They were 6-7 Nelly. I will. What gtag is that? It's in the Nacho Engine server. You just gotta find it. It looks exactly like the one I have. Just find it. They were the hiding gift, Nelly. I forgot the name of it though. But I'm gonna go chat. Thank you all for joining. I hope you guys have a good day. All right. Make sure you join tomorrow's live stream, okay? All right. I will be live tomorrow at around. They were the hiding gift, Nelly. I will be live tomorrow at around the same time. So stay tuned for that. And yeah. But guys, okay. They were the hiding gift, Nelly. I'm going to give shout outs to people who subscribe right now. So this is your last chance to get a shout out this stream before I end it. Alright, so say I subbed in the chat before I end the stream. I'm going to give some shout outs, alright? Favorite star. Alright. Shout out to Among Us Space Police. Shout out to Family Dude. Shout out to Willow Plays. Shout out to Alicia. Shout out to, oh my god, holy people. Shout out to Electric. Shout out to Victory. Shout out to Warren. Shout out to Kate Kari King. Shout out to Bridge. Shout out to Copper. Shout out to, oh my god, Pepsi Man. Shout out to Dominator. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to freaking, oh my, shout out to T Junior. Shout out to NXO the GOAT. Shout out to AKVR. Shout out to freaking Steven. Shout out to Mr. Saurus Rex. Shout out to Zion. Shout out to Vine Nile. Shout out to Savannah. Shout out to Braylon. Shout out to freaking Timmy Tough Knuckles. Thank you for the Go Trophy. Dogs Play. W Dogs Play. I'm about to end stream chat. W Dogs Play. Well, if you didn't get a shout out, I'll give you a shout out on the next stream. W Dogs Play though. With the Go Trophy. Thank you so much, Dog Plays. W Dog Plays, bro. Thank you. Dogs Play. W Dogs Play. They would allow this go Jace. W Jace. Thank you, bro. And W Dog Plays. Thank you both. They were allowed this go Sassy Chad. W Sassy Chad too. W Sassy Chad, Jace, and Dogs Play. Thank you all. 3 so much. But yeah, thank you guys for the gifts. Thank you for the Go Trophy, especially Dogs Play. Holy gift. But I'm gonna end stream chat. Shout out to Golden Pumpkin. Thank you for the $2, Vass. Alright, bye Vass. 367 Jamie. Bye Vass. Thank you for joining the stream, Vass. But I'm gonna end stream here. Thank you all for joining. Make sure you join tomorrow's stream. Alright? around the same time that I stream today. I'll be live tomorrow at. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all for joining. All right, guys. Yeah. Bye bye, chat. Shout out to the real rivals. Oh wait, can we hit 135k? Nah, I don't think we could right now. Okay, I'm gonna go though. Also, guys, leave the gold coin, Jamie. If you have Discord, you can join my Discord server too. It's in my channel links. All right, guys. So if you want to join my Discord server, we're trying to get some people in there. So if you have Discord, feel free to join my Discord server. Okay. But I'm gonna end it here. All right, guys. So my Discord server link will be in my channel links if you want to join it. Shout out to Logan. Shout out to Shauna Landis. They were the gold coins. Skylar and Sassy Chad. But I'm gonna go now, chat. Make sure you join my next stream tomorrow. Alright, bye. Alright, guys. I'm gonna go now, though. Bye, chat. Thank you all for joining the stream. I will be live tomorrow. Thank you for all the gifts and donations. And thank you all for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Alright, bye, chat. Peace. Peace, guys.